I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host. My name is Man, and I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. This is going to be a very good show today, so we want you to come on and be a part of it and join us for this good one as we talk about some football concerning the Jamaica Football Federation, some further developments in the area of the General Secretary. We're going to talk about some comments made from Mr. Craig Butler, and to kind of pan through those things, discuss them, and see if we, the fans, can have a fruitful discussion that seeks to add value to the ongoing dilemmas faced by our football administrators. I want to welcome all of you to the platform. If this is your first time again, thank you for joining and being a part of the I Am Sure Sports family. As usual, we ask our guests to subscribe to our platform, to hit the like button, and we also ask them to share our content so others can know what we're doing here on I Am Sure Sports. I want to say big up to Tennessee Lewis, who is in the comment section already. Kirk Rowe, Anonymous OG is here. Tuffy Rudy as well. Jason, bless up yourself. The Formula Sport is here. And while I say that, I also want you to check out Formula Sport. He's always putting out quality content, a very reasonable and balanced in his discussion and his discourse. So you can check out his platform. And there are many good platforms out there. You have the Ryan LFC, Coach's Desk, Talawa TV, I Maxid, Military Guna Unseen Sports. And it doesn't hurt to show love to everyone, right? Let's not create, like I always say, let's not create conflict in this. One thing I know is that life is very, 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 very short, and it takes nothing to lose your life these days. So as much as it is up to you, live at peace. Because trust me, the consequences are war. You can't manage it. Let me say that to you again. If war were to come to you, you can't manage it. Because how war is now, they will take your son, your daughter, your grandmother, your cousin, your uncle, your friend, your neighbor. You can't manage it. So let's not go down that path. Christopher Carroll, man of God, bless up yourself. Also, Foreign Spider Damien, up and running. I also have to say a big thank you to the sponsors. A lot of people don't know this, but what we do it out of love. But of course, everything needs finances, and though we can do this, persons, because I don't know, channels don't make huge resources of people just looking and watching videos. If you're not having millions and hundreds of thousands, there's not a lot of revenue. So we like to thank the people who take time out to support the channel by contributing financially to the sustenance and the operation of the channel to keep all the things we do going. It looks like it's coming on social media and talking, but there's a lot of stuff in the background. And we also encourage persons to give super chat and super stickers, but not everyone is able to do that. Some would love to, but not everyone is able to. So we want to thank Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it the most. Call them at 876-884-7390. They are located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and they're offering loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. There's no processing fee, same day processing, and only 0 to 4% interest rate. Also, to launch Legacy where they handle risk and seek Legacy for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, visit Launch Legacy at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. All right. Wonderful. Fantastico. All right. So here we go. All right. Big up Fresh God as well. True words, man is man. Life is very unpredictable. I always said, love everyone and treat them the way you want to be treated. Live the life you love and love the life you live. Definitely, definitely. That's it. That's it. That's it. If I could tell you some stories, you know, I did a video, in fact, on Sunday with Nascimento Blair, and I urge a lot of you to listen to that interview. It is not a lot about football, it's a lot about life, and how life, in the twinkling of an eye, can put you in a place of no return, and the kind of willpower it takes to get from that place. You just never know, right? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Dennis Chung. For those of you who don't know him, let me just give you a little bit of background. All right, this is from my own research. So he was born in 1966, and he's a Jamaican, born in Jamaica, and he is a former Jamaica college student, and he also attended the University of the West Indies. He is a chartered accountant, and he completed a master's degree in accounting. I think he did that in 1989 and a CPA exam in 1990. He has made numerous presentations on financial and economic subjects and is a frequent media communicator in Jamaica, um, where he has written a regular column for the Jamaica Observer and the Financial Gleaner newspaper since 2003. He's currently the vice president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica and currently sits on and has been on numerous public and private sector boards. He's also a part-time lecturer in financial statements analysis and has written two books. One is Chartering Jamaica's Economic and Social Development, and the second book is Achieving Life's Equilibrium. He is married with two children and is an avid recreational cyclist. He believes in optimizing life through maintaining a balance between health, wealth, and happiness, and is the subject of his latest book, which looks at the principles to be employed to achieve life's equilibrium between health, wealth, happiness, for optimal living. All right. So big up Dapper Agent. Yes, indeed, he is. He is formula. So he has sit on several. He was I believe also he is also the chief executive officer at Supreme Ventures. Um, or he served in that capacity. He was a part of the National NIA, the National Integrity Commission. Um, he's a JP, um, and he is a director and chairman of Audit and Finance Committee. I mean, so he has a lot. He is a chief. He was a chief executive officer of Supreme Ventures. He also worked at Petrodram. So you know, of course, he left Supreme Ventures and things. So he has done a whole lot, been in a lot of things. Um, he was also part of GK Capital Management Limited. So you talk about it, he has um, he has been there, and he has done it in the corporate world. All right, so he comes in with all of that. All right, so he comes in now. If you also remember that he is the head of finance at the JFF. He's a person who heads the finance committee at the GFF. So the issue is, can he now do both, or that one goes to someone else? So some of these things we need to hear so we can know. Will he be operating in both capacities? Number one. Number two, and if he moves from the head of finance, who will be leading that? Because the general secretary position seems to be very high demanding. When you think about all the questions were being asked of Dalton Wind, the immediate past person leading that area. Right. So it seemed to be a full-time job um, for the general secretary. So I don't think he'll be able to do both. All right. He's also, there you go, more accolades. Also, former CEO of the private sector organization of Jamaica. So he has a lot of expertise. Also has connection with corporate Jamaica. I don't know. Um, if this will help him to have some leverage in getting corporate companies to come on board with the Jamaica Football Federation, because that could be um, one other advantage of having a person like him in that capacity. It would also be interesting if they brought on like a Christopher Williams to take over that financial part that Dennis Chung was over. I think that would be good. If you move Dennis Chung to General Secretary, I'd love to see the JFF in their whole restructuring get an expert like Christopher Williams, the person who head up the JPL, to come on board and work in that capacity, because I don't see Chung operating in both. And Rudolph Speed, who is the head of the technical committee, should focus on the technical part of the football, along with Wendell Downswell, right? And then that financial part, I think a good candidate that the JFF could look at is Mr. Christopher Williams, because the general secretary, see, Formula saying it. This is my biggest question, management. Where will he find the time to do his day-to-day GenSec job? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to know if, because he's on a lot of boards, I don't know if he's a nail, but he's on a lot of board. I mean, this man is on a lot of boards. So what I want to know is, will he give up some of these posts? Because the GenSec job seem to be a job that requires a lot of travel, especially as the female World Cup is coming. You have the under 17 qualifiers coming up. You have the girls going to play for the Olympic qualifying. You have Nations League coming up. You have Gold Cup coming up. After that, you have the World Cup qualifying starting. You have a new coach. So how does he manage all of these things if he has all of those other things to do? So that is a very important discussion that must be had. Big up CC, the man them call Comedy Central. He says, I am sure sports, he has resigned from Supreme Ventures position, the CFO. I'm wondering the compensation, because that is a big post. But he resigned for a while now. I did ask about that, and I did ask about the compensation for the person. How do you pay Dalton Wind what is owing to him and appoint a new person and pay them? I did ask that question of Mr. Speed, but he bob and weave. He's a very good boxer. You understand me? He was on the move like Ali. You understand me? Yeah. The Formula Sport, he won't be a full-time employee anywhere else, just a director on some boards. Uh, All right. Ballers, blessing to you, Mr. Stinnett, and manners to the comment section. Up and running, Roderick Sharp. Up, man. I get. Bless up yourself in a youth. Man called Highgate in the place. All right. The Formula Sport. What is the opposite of a see, Sports Lab. Yeah. You see why they come about surplus politics? They were promoting him, knowing they were going to pick him. Oh. I see what you're saying, Rob Simmons. You're saying that a lot of the stuff that we have been hearing from Dennis Chung is because there was a plan to put him in this position. So they were kind of put him in the spotlight for people to have a particular perception of him. Hey, Rob Simmons, you sound like Ben Matlock here. I am sure sports, you don't need to give up your posts and boards for a GenSec job unless the money is equivalent. I hear you. I'm not talking about giving it up. How do you do all of those at the same time? All right. And do you give your optimum to all of them? That's possible. When you find people on multiple boards, some of those boards are not doing their functions. I know the GenSec job in present day football is probably more important and requires way more than even the job of the president. I am telling you that. One thing, he better know that the spotlight is going to be on him, so he better be prepared to do a good job. All right, up, Rob Smith. I think he wanted you to say, you understand me, Formula? You know what he wanted you to say? Just seek out the fervits and put them in the crucial position. Issue solved. All right, all right. All right, the farmer. Man, it is typical for CEOs of organizations to be on many boards, so he will know how to manage his time. All right, not knocking it. I hear you all. Um, they can't they can't find some loophole not to pay Wint, like how them find not to pay Paul Hall. Yeah, they have to pay Wint. Um, will much change? We will see, Fresh God, because that's the next question. Breaking news: Tom Brady and employed his wife employed separate divorce attorneys. Oh, employ separate divorce attorneys. Okay. All right, respect Gunner's boss. Remember, even though he sits on a number of boards, if he isn't the chairperson, then it shouldn't be such a big deal. All right, let's see. All right, so before I take the discussion further, there is a post from Mr. Craig Butler on his Instagram. All right, now there is a video, but I'm not able, because I'm going to play it directly from where it is. I'm not able to rotate the video, but the audio is very clear. So we are going to share that with you, and then we're going to come back and discuss it. All right, so let's see if we can do that and hear what Craig Butler has to say, and then I will give you my take on it. All right, so let's see.
The Standard go live this morning and discuss a few things while I have a little time on the way to school with KCB. First of all, when you have corruption, you need to see where the corruption comes from. And just like cancer, you have to cut the cancer out at its source. And you have to recognize that there are laws set up and there are reasons for these laws. When you ignore those laws is when you have problems. There's a rule in FIFA that says that no officiating member of a football organization, a governing body, should hold another post outside of that money in football. And they call it a conflict of interest. And the reason that they put those things in place is to ensure that things that have been happening over the last 10 years does not continue to happen. The actual structure of football in Jamaica has caused a big problem. The structure of football is designed in a way that is community-based. And the leaders and organizers of those football competitions become the presidents of the parish associations, and then they are voted on to become the president of the JFF and whatever other positions they have. What that means, guys, is that anyone who is in the JFF in any capacity also is connected to a football club. So, for example, Rudolph Speed, he is the president and owner of Cavaliers Football Club, a Premier League club that is seeking to sell players, transfer players, to get the transfer fee. Yeah? Now, one of the main reasons that this is a problem is that in order to get a work permit in Europe, in England, for example, one of the main things is it says that you must have the last 15 games as a starter. 75% of your country's last 15 games as a starter in order to qualify for a work permit in England. So if Rudolph Speed wants to sell a Cavaliers player to get a contract in England, that player must play 75% of Jamaica's last 15 games. That means that if he is connected to Cavaliers and he is the person who admittedly went and got the coach and makes decisions as to who coaches what team, then he can manipulate to put the players that he chooses into that national team. That is why John Richards, who everybody is speaking about now, is a monster of a player, was left out of Jamaica's under 20. While many of his Cavaliers players were included. He blocked all the Phoenix players. And why are they blocking the Phoenix players? Is it that they don't like Craig Butler? And is it because Craig Butler has the capacity to operate without the JFF, without bowing to the JFF, without playing the good old boys game? And because we speak the truth. No, that's not the reason. It's a purely financial-based reason. If Craig Butler's players play, then they, in their idea, they will be taking a space of a Cavaliers player that could be transferred for money to Cavaliers Football Club, of which Speed would be the main beneficiary. So it's not about whether Craig Butler speaks too much or whatever. They say knowledge is power. And one of the things that I did when I went to Europe was to gain knowledge. I made mistakes and I learned. But one of the main things I did was to gain knowledge, to learn. And one of the things that Jamaicans don't know is that the JFF is currently operating against FIFA policy and procedures. No member of the JFF in a capacity of being able to control and decide who coaches, who plays, selecting teams should also be the owner of a local football club. By my saying this, I'm also ensuring that I personally, Craig Butler, who owns Phoenix, never becomes a, a member of the governing body of Jamaica's football. Because I too would be in a position of being corrupt, because I would be, say for instance, the president of the JFF, and I would own Phoenix. And everybody would be in a position to say the reason why a Phoenix player is included is because I am the president. So by my saying this, I am removing myself from any form of position in the JFF. However, you must do what is right. What is right for your country and what is right under the law. And they, by allowing Speed and so many others to be in governing positions, they are breaking FIFA's rules. And the reason they're breaking FIFA's rules is because they're all a part of it. They're all involved in the same capacity. The whole structure of Jamaica's football hierarchy is gained by the wrong methods, because you're going to put kids and footballers in positions where the best players are not going to be selected. This has been going on for quite a while. It happened with Kyle, and when they were done, they tried to badmouth and say Kyle was not a good player. The one time he got to play for Jamaica for, 10 minutes, he showed the world how good he was. Yeah? But why would they remove Kyle and not give Kyle a chance to hurt me? Yeah? They tried to keep Leon. Leon did not get selected for Jamaica's under 20 when Leon was dominating in Genk at the Premier League level. At 18 years old, he was not selected for Jamaica's under 20. While they were selecting schoolboys, Leon was in Genk's Premier League team, getting goal of the season in the Europa League, and not selected for Jamaica's under 20. Yeah? Dejan Richards was not selected for Jamaica's under 20. Meanwhile, he's at Real Sociedad on trial and they love him. He can't sign until he's 18. He's only 16 now. He comes back. He plays a little Manning Cup. Scores 4 goals in 2 games. And everybody goes crazy. Everyone in the JFF already knew the talent of Leon and already knew the talent of Dejan Richards. They also know the talent of Kemar Reid, who they have blocked out of national team selection. Meanwhile, he's winning or in the top 3 in the Premier League in Malta every single year. This is ridiculous. And it has to stop. And why Andre said, new coach, same JFF, it's for that pure, simple reason. People don't understand. He's not just throwing daggers at the JFF. He's saying that, listen, you are to remove these people who are connected to clubs that are manipulating to put their inferior players ahead of quality players. And it don't have to be my players that are being hurt. It's not just my players. So many good players in Jamaica are being left out so that Cavaliers players and whoever else Speed's friends are gets into the national team. It became extremely blatant because what? Blake opened up his mouth and said something against them. And so immediately they threw him out. But what he didn't know as Speed is the power of the collective will of the Jamaican people, which I know. So we all need to stick together and ensure this stops now. It has to stop. Yeah? I supported Andre Blake. Yeah? Sidela supported him. Yeah? And then I hear in stories about, they're going to get block Sidela from the national female program or whatever. Block her, no? You see, I say every Rastaman pick come up in arms in Jamaica here. These are things that you don't understand. The power of goodwill. Yeah, there are so many players within Phoenix and without Phoenix that deserve to be considered for the national team that are being blocked so that Speed and his friends can go in. I am leaving Phoenix to my daughter when I get older. Yeah, and I can't manage no more. And that's soon. But she has been raised and she's sitting here. There's a reason I'm taking her to school, and I want her to sit and listen so she understands fairness. I am not trying to get a position in the JFF. I have a big enough and hard enough job as it is managing my players. And I can make money and make a good living doing that without having to ingratiate myself into the JFF, to manipulate, to try and put my players into the national team, to try and get a contract for them. I have the contacts and I have the reputation already worldwide where I can call a club and say I have a good player and they'll take him. I don't need to put inferior players into the national program in order to try and get him a contract and fight out the good players. Don Hugh Mitchell is playing center half for Mona High School, and he's on 5 goals. He's the joint leading goal scorer of the Manning Cup right now. And he was thrown out of the national under 20 and refused to take him. Yeah? This is wrong. I'm going to go now because I want to spend a little more time with my daughter going to school. But I want you guys to understand, this is the facts. Speed and his cronies, they need to go. And just like they get an unbiased coach, they also need to get. Morning, sir. Good? How your son? Yeah? Heal him up. Give me. Yeah, man. Respect. Yeah. Just like how they need to they said this is an unbiased coach. You can't have a biased coach with a biased administration. That's what Andre was trying to say. The influence that will be put on the pressure that will put on that coach to make decisions, to pick players from Cavaliers or wherever else is going to be undue and it's going to cause problems. So, I wish you all the best, and we're going to take a look at this. Peace out.
All right, Lato said that's around 15 minutes. Now, let me say this. While I agree with a lot of what was said, there are some things that I must question. I want you to listen to my words. I agree with some of the, in principle, I agree that we need to remove all forms of conflict of interest from the football. I agree with that. But I want to make some points that are very important. And I'm going to take some things. All right? Let me just point out something. Number one, and this is not in defense. The last Cavalier player to move from Jamaica was Kenroy Williams. Didn't play 15 games for Jamaica. I think he played less than 15 seconds or 15 minutes for Jamaica. But he moved. Kaim Paris didn't play 15 games and he moved. Alex Marshall didn't play 15 games and he has moved. We have seen that players from Jamaica can move out of the local leagues without getting into the national team. Thanks to a person like Kevin Cohen, who has done human service in his work to get many talented players outside of Jamaica, and Damani Ralph and many others. They have done so. All right. So let me say that there is not a number of Cavaliers players in the Jamaican national team. Remember, I agree in principle that there should be no conflict of interest, but these are the facts. The last Jamaica team that played in the Argentina game, check how many Cavaliers players were in it. The team that went to Austria, check how many Cavaliers players were in it. So the idea, right? The idea that players to move, though he specified England. Let me say this to Jamaica. Wherever we have this idea that players can leave Jamaica and go to England in their leagues to play, makes no sense. It will be very difficult for us to see a player leave from Jamaica in the local leagues and go to England, even if he plays 15 times for the national team. And Jamaica don't go to like the World Cup, like in the case with Ricardo Gardner. You have to be like a Ricardo kind of full of talent or a Jermaine Johnson. The other pathway is what many players are taking to go, there you go, FIFA top 50, to go through other European countries. So when we speak, we must speak in proper context because we have valid points. Now, I want to also ask, did Mr. Butler want to coach the national team? I'm not sure. Did he for any national coaching job? Because listen, based on what he's saying, no person, and I have a problem, and this is where uh um yeah, no, let me say this, if no person who is involved in a football club is in the administration of football anywhere in Jamaica, football going be destroyed. So the ideal model is what they have in Europe. All right. Mr. Butler also ran for president, while he was in charge of Phoenix. All right. Let me say it again. The ideal, the ideal model, the ideal model is what they have in Europe. But let me make it clear, people. If people like me who run my football club cannot participate in my parish, or to participate in my parish in transforming football, I need to give up my club. If the people give up the clubs, we're going to have no football. So the reason why we have the people who have clubs involved in football, because they are the ones who love it. If you check Jamaica's population, we don't have a very large population of people who, I'm going to set up the calling line. Just give me around 1 minute and I'll call back. We don't have a huge what I call grouping of people who are willing to come out and support the football and put into it like the ones who have done it. Right? So I'm making those points. Yeah. I'm making those points, because I believe that Mr. Butler has a very, very good point. We must remove all forms of conflict of interest. All right? But here's what. A person can operate a club. A person can operate a club and still operate in integrity. They just have to remove themselves from certain position. Right? I would find it hard, because if Mr. Butler were coaching the under 20 team and Whisper were in the team, even if he's the best player, he must understand that people would still say that is because he's a Phoenix player. Remember, it was not only Phoenix players who were not called into the U20 team. You had Delano Splat. There were other players from out of England. There were other players who came from the United States. Kirk Rowe, I did not say Speed should not go. Let me make my point again, Kirk Rowe. Let me make my point again. So I am not telling. I did say, hey people, you don't have to listen enough. Let me say it again. I agree that where there is conflict, you know, listen, man. Listen, man. Go back and listen to what was said. If you operate football club, you are not supposed to be a part of the administration. And I am saying to you, Kirk Rowe and others, if you believe that the people who run clubs should not be in the administration of any football in Jamaica, I guarantee you, if that were to happen in Jamaica, football would collapse. It can happen in Europe, but not in Jamaica. Listener, just before you type, listen. Is there a conflict of interest with Speed? Yes. Didn't I say Mr. Butler is right? There is. Whether or not he's doing things unethically, I don't know, but there is a conflict of interest. Because the moment a Cavaliers player is in the team, as long as Richard King get called, it is going to be seen as a conflict of interest, even if he's good. Because perception is reality. So for the people who believe, let me say it again, because somebody has said, see, Champ Deck said, no clubman for in any admin role. And I'm saying to you, if you say to the people in Kasafa, none of you should have nothing to do with the Jeff. Remember, I know, Stuart Steve, all of these guys would have to give up their positions at Harborview, give up their positions at, come on, people. I am telling you, let me give you, if Peter Gould give up Mount Pleasant, listen to me, if Peter Gould give up Mount Pleasant to work at the GFF, Mount Pleasant mash up. If Arville Powell give up Mobile United, it mash up. If the owners of Portmore give it up to help with football, it mash up. If the owner of the Arnett Gardens give it up, all the people and the coaches decide that, listen, let's go and support the national and leave Arnett Garden alone, leave Waterhouse alone. You tell me the people who are going to run these clubs. You tell me. Tell me which business person in a Jamaica go take up one of them. Listen, hey, all right. People, I am talking to you as a man who run a club. And you see, when me stop do it, it mash up. I can tell you about clubs. Me can tell you about BIM. You want to go through a list of the clubs? Because I think you guys live in a false reality. Because you live in an ideal situation, you fail to see the reality. So let me give you the reality. When Bim Williams left Reno, when Gene Gray left Montego Bay, or whatever, when Ansis Shelley leave Volvo, when the owners of Port Morant United left it, you want to go through more? We can go through and through and through. What we must do is find people who operate their clubs well to help with the administration and put guidelines in place. Put guidelines in place. I think Mr. Butler can still be at Phoenix and still be in football in Jamaica. I think I could have Mr. Butler write policies of developing footballers and still operate at Phoenix. So for somebody to tell me, for him to write a policy for the development of football, he has to give up Phoenix. It's asinine. It don't make any sense to say if you run club, you can't operate, you can't administrate football. That don't make no sense. Come on, man. So let's shape the conversation a different way. No make we go down there. No make we go down the road. We are intelligent people. Not go down the road, man. KY, tell me how my context is off. I'm talking about the statement. If you want to have a separate conversation, we can. We can have a separate conversation. The discussion I am having is the idea that anyone who runs a club should not be involved in the administration of football at the JFF. So that being the case, any Mr. Butler not to run, because part of the constitution of the JFF said that for you to even be involved, you have to be an affiliate. So for you to run for anything in the GFF, you have to be affiliate. You have to be an affiliate that them get from CONCACAF. So CONCACAF have to change that. I mean, God have mercy. Me go on. Anyways, let me take some call because I can't manage. Me can't manage. Me can't manage that. Me can't manage that. Me can't manage that. Hey, people. Lord have mercy. Yo, I don't know. People, who said that you must run club and run football? Let me say what I say. Let me go slow. Maybe I talk too loud. So, what you are suggesting is that people like anyone, including Carvel Stewart, Stuart Stevens, all of these people are part of board and different executive at Harborview. They should have nothing to do with the administration of football in Jamaica. Wayne Shaw should give up Barbican so he can be the CASAFA president. Again, if Peter Gould wants to work in the marketing or help with marketing at JFF, he has to give up Mount Pleasant. I am saying that don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. Just think about what you're saying. I did not say a man who run him club must run the GFF. At no point I said that. But if you're saying, because we're not talking about the argument is not about the presidency of the GFF. At no point did I say that. Dapper agent, let me take your thing, all right? You see, all of what I like take an argument, you know. Let me ask you, like, I want one of you who see a club in your community and you see it need help and you go there and help them. Let me ask you, who you see, just tell me some of the people now, man. Just tell me some of the people. Just tell me some of the people that you see that are interested in the clubs, in the communities, that the people who are operating good clubs in Jamaica can leave it to. Live in a reality. Live in a reality. So this is not about, I agree that there's a conflict of interest with Mr. Speed. What you are all saying is that every person, because every person in the present administration of football, in every parish in Jamaica at some point was connected to a club. What we are suggesting is that all of these people should never be in the administration of football in Jamaica because they are connected to a club. Bridging that no make no sense. Come on, man. Because what you're saying, the core of what you're saying is that Craig Butler should have nothing to do with Jamaica's football. Don't tell me about him. As long as his name is on anything or is anywhere related or connected to it, you think his Speed get up tomorrow and tell me, say, him daughter run Cavaliers and he has given it over. You think, say, me go want him? You think, say, there's still not going to be conflict of interest? You can't tell me no nonsense. Me a big man. You think, say, Mr. Butler get up tomorrow and say, hey, man is man, nah, man, might think different, man. I've trained my daughter. She in charge right now. I can be the GFF president. You think I'm going to buy that? You think I'm going to buy that from Speed? I am not going to buy that. No way. No way. In the context that we have right now, hold on, let me. So anybody who tell me, say, I can run now because me hand over the club to my brother, me hand over the club to my mother, me hand over the club to my father, me sell me shares to my friend them. Me say, you can't be a part of it. Still conflict of interest. That is what I want to understand. So we must put framework in place so that people cannot operate with your word. Yes, sir. Welcome to the show. You're calling.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself.
Yeah.
Hold on. It look like me still up on the show. Hold on. Let me get up. All right. Yeah, hear me clearly?
Yeah, man. I hear you clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I listen to the little interview there and thing, and me always agree with the part where independent people supposed to run the football thing. Just like how I feel say the Premier League supposed to have an independent commissioner for running. It is not hard for, say for instance, the owner for Draxal, may just as a Draxal, United becomes the president. If him becomes the president, him no say, well, all right then. We have to go, but at the same time, we have to find different people to run it. Because that's how it's going on. Anytime you become that public figure, you have to give up your private interest, in a politics,
no,
in a
no,
sports,
but
all these
but
things.
that is the issue. I'm saying though, intrinsic in that is still an issue. So let me give you an example. When Horace Reed worked at the JFF, he still owned Portmore United, but there were managers and other people in place. So when he left his role at the JFF, he went back to Portmore. There is still a conflict of interest because many people look and say Portmore players were getting preferences. The point I am making is that if it is a conflict of interest, giving up the operational procedures of your club, just listen, it doesn't prevent the issue of conflict of interest. Because you, as the person who previously ran that club, could still select players from that club. I don't know why we're making it so hard to understand. So if I run Arsenal and you say to me, listen, for you to be the president of the FA, you have to give up Arsenal. I say, all right, I find a group of people and say, you run the club. I am the Arsenal owner now. I know after my 8 years, I'm going back to take up the club. So wouldn't it still benefit me to still find a way of getting Arsenal players in the system still, though I am not operating it? So I am saying to you that the fact that I've given up this thing don't mean that the conflict of interest is gone or the corruption. It must be written down policies and procedures that you use to cut it. So if you find that Speed is putting Cavaliers players in the national team who don't deserve it, then listen, there should be something to remove him from a position or to remove the responsibility from him. Because if you ask him to give up his club, him can still have the same influence.
No, well, it's the principle, and that's the principle, and that's the norm, That's the norm. If Mark Cuban becomes the commissioner of the National Basketball Association today, him have to give up the Dallas Mavericks. Him have to give it up. Whether I'm going to give it up to him daughter, him son, him family member or something, but him have to take himself away from all operation of that club during him tenure as a president.
Exactly.
That's all me I go tell you.
No, and we agree
Or
on that.
commissioner.
We agree on that. So the truth is, anyone who comes into position of the GFF must give up all their connections to any club. We agree.
Well, if you're
Watch
a club owner, if you're a club owner.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. All right, Kirk Rowe and Gunners boss. Kirk Rowe, the junglist. Who want to ask you and Gunners boss is the two junglists there. Here's what I'm asking you. Do you believe, all right, if Craig Butler or Rudolph Speed gave up their clubs and still had position of selecting people, they would not select people from their clubs? That is the question you must answer.
I mean, you may just say to you like, while if you have to give it up to your wife to run it.
No, listen what I'm asking. Listen the question.
What I said.
Listen the question I'm asking though. If both of these men, Mr. Butler gave Phoenix over to his daughter, and Mr. Speed gave Cavaliers over to his brother, and they still have the position that of technical committee or technical whatever they want to call it, do you believe that giving up the club will change their minds from selecting the players now that they don't have ownership?
Optical illusion. So make the optic not look right when him do it, when it there. But we can speculate all we want as long as we remove that optic where people like where Mr. Craig Butler cannot
so all you're saying that all the people have to do then is for the optics. For the optics
are cause the problem.
Oh,
man.
it is the optics.
Cause the problem.
No, for me it's not the optics.
Okay, so hold on, look at it.
It's not the optics.
Look at it like this. I'm going to give you a little example now where these things work. And we're going to touch politics for a minute. There was a president or presidents before, number 45, who owned businesses like Bush and them. Bush had owned the Texas Rangers, once him becomes a public figure, from governor to president, him sell him shares in that, I remember a man named Ross Perot, own a basketball team, and sell it when he try to run for president.
Let me tell you this. Craig Butler has stated that he is going to give Phoenix to his daughter. He's not selling it. We don't want to bring the American context. Rudolph Speed, let me ask you again. Rudolph Speed comes out tomorrow and say, all right, a lot of you have been saying conflict of interest. I have just given over Cavaliers to my daughter, Pansy Speed. No, you can leave me. There's no more conflict of interest. The next team that you see has 10 Cavaliers players in it. What would be your response?
My response would be no response if the 10 Cavalier players are the best at their position to pick for the team. That means to say Cavalier have a system and the system is running right. So I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as the best 10 players at that 10 position and at the best 10 player we can find across the island and the diaspora. So then you can say that there's a conflict of interest. But if you just pick up 10 Cavalier players who not playing the ball and can't do nothing and just put them in there, then we have to go fight about that. And then we have to get rid of you from both positions.
Just a give example. So the point I'm trying to make though is not what the people own. It is the people ethical practices that is the problem. And that is what needs to be governed. What these people are trying to tell me is that, in other words, you're trying to govern the ungovernable. What we must govern is the practice of the people. If you find, for example, listen, I believe that when a man, let me say this, I believe that when a man from a particular school, and I've seen this happen before, when them go from a particular school in Jamaica and people bringing them resume, the high school that you come from sometimes allow you to get jobs.
Your zip code, your area code, where you come from.
Not area code. So watch this. There are certain places, certain high schools that you attend in Jamaica that open doors for you to get jobs. because a
That's
lot of the
true,
people
because
in senior management areas operate there. Now, here's the thing. It's not to tell the people to go to KC. That is the solution. Or to go to JC or to go to Calabar. That is not the solution. So if you want a job, go there. Right? That is not the solution. The solution is the people who are making those things. You need to put measures in place so that when, if it is Speed or Butler or Manningsman or Gunners boss, when we make decisions, that it is clear that we did it for the interest of our club or our organization. Action is taken.
but man's man.
That is what we need
All
to
of this,
do.
all of that aside now. Mr. Butler now. Why Mr. Butler just decide again? Mr. Butler is a man with no risk, no, well, Leo happen. So, that is an apology. But Mr. Butler is a man. Sometimes Mr. Butler
Go ahead, Gunners boss.
still going back and talking about some things from way back and all them things. You know. Sometimes why if the Jamaica Football Federation and all these things is no luxurious thing to what he is doing with his Phoenix, and big up him where I do over Mona there. So I bring a little school up in the competition, come compete with the big guys. So why him not just settle with that and do that and do the thing and leave the JFF and these bitterness alone? Him can't do that, you know. But I don't know why him just always, him doing it too much now. It sound kind of bitter way sometimes.
You know what is funny?
Things them way him say.
What I am saying, you know, is that I think, let me give you an example. I think like Craig Butler really needs to be a part of the football, you know. I think
yes.
Watch this. But based on what he's saying now, he's not supposed to be in the football because he operates Phoenix. I don't agree with that. I think because of what he has done at Phoenix, he needs to be involved in the position, some position. But here's what we need to do. We need to ensure that when he is operating in that position, he doesn't use that position to bring in 100 Phoenix players into the system unless they are quality. But I don't think...
And then Mr. Butler, I got to do the same thing.
No, well, I'm not going to say that. So that's all I'm saying. I am saying that there is a place probably for Speed to serve Jamaica's football. But if he's using the position that he's in to bring cover, according to people, to bring Cavaliers players into the system, then listen, take action and say, listen, all right, here's what. You have made these decisions and these Cavaliers players. So here is what we are going to do. Here's what we are going to do. You will not get any job that allows you to select players. Write some manual for the football, because there are people, you can put people in position to still use their skills and don't really pull on their weaknesses, because it's not club ownership that is the problem. So when we talk about, in other words, people are saying to me, like, so as far as I'm concerned, if the GFF call me and say, management, listen, you and the vloggers, we want you to be a part. We're going to make you guys part of the vlogging thing. Me not give up my club. Brother. But if nobody don't want me help, I'm not going on with no business. I have mash up, I'm in a business. Me helping youth is way more important. That is the issue I have. One, you don't have to give up one for the other. People must manage how you operate.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree to an extent. But my main thing is, like I have been saying for a while, these organization, the national organization, the national setup, supposed to be remove the people who have the power for the conflict of interest. So people like Mr. Speed, Mr. Speed, I do too much, I do other things out there. Why him have to involve in it? The people have to come together and get somebody independent to run this thing. Let me ask you a question. When Mr. James was running the football,
he
still run the Last Perfectors team?
Him still own it. Mr. James still own it. That's what I'm saying. Tony James.
He was still
No.
He was still operating Last Perfectors.
No. Other people operating it, but he was still the owner. So when he left football, he went back to it.
Yeah, well, that is the thing. You leave it for the time, you don't have to sell your shares, you just, as Mr. relinquish, turn over your interest and your assets to somebody else.
No, that is not what the people are saying.
What they are saying?
watch this.
This is not a lifetime. It's not a lifetime position. So
that exactly. So listen, that is why I'm saying.
How much year is the tenure?
I don't know.
How much year is the tenure? 4 year or 5 year for the president? For Mr. Ricketts, what is his term?
I don't. What's it? 4 years. But what I'm saying, though, Gunners boss, you and I can agree that. Listen, if you run a club, you like say Arville Powell at Mobile United. There's no way you can be the JFF president and run the club. It doesn't, watch me, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to sell your club or give up ownership of the club.
No.
But watch,
you give up your interest in the club for the period of time.
For the period of time.
Decide to run
all right, so watch it.
Or the people
however,
in for.
all right, so there we all agree. And that is my big point now. I am saying if that is the case, remember, it's still your club. So you could still, follow me, you could still serve in your position in the best interest of your club. In other words, if I am the president, I also know that after my tenure, I'm going back to Mobile United. I'm going back to Priory Academy. Why wouldn't I still find a way of helping Priory players in the national system? Because it's not because I have to give up the club. It's because I have an ethical issue. What the issue I'm saying is that the issue is that the people aren't. It is the ethical practices of the people, you know.
Man, but you have to look at it like this, you know.
Yeah.
He give up his interest to his son. So him gonna call him son privately, and them gonna have them private family conversation around the dinner table. That not have nothing to do with in public life, you know. When him come out in the public, and we as the public have to know, say, well, this man say him give up him team and him give up all operation of him team and all influence of him team during him tenure as the president, and we accept it and we want to put it. But now we is here to look and see that where he is doing things, that's where I go say, no. How you gonna have 6 Cavalier players in the team when you have a youth from over Boys Town better than that man, that midfielder, and in the team, and we have a man from over Harvard who were better on the left foot now. We don't have the England team, but we have some little rocks from over this man team where to him at the president even go him say. But so you can't make it so blatant. So you have to give that person that chance, and when him do that now, you see how him run the thing. But you can't just jump and say everybody are gonna be the same. You know? We see how it run. But as me say, take out that part out of it. Take out the part over it where Mr. Speed own Cavalier and have so much influence over the JFF publicly. That's what we know.
We need people with good ethics and good morals. So let me give you an example. Yeah. Hold on. There's a conflict. There is a big conflict of interest with the JPL. And I love what Christopher Williams is doing. But you know where the money for the JPL goes? In a company operated by Christopher Williams.
All the money goes into that.
All the money has to go through there. Every cent.
Okay, so
is that a conflict of interest? That you lead.
Hold on, let me ask something.
Eh?
Let me ask you a question. Is that the JPL is a revenue sharing league?
Yes.
So all the money will go inside of that company that this man own. So him own, like say him own an accounting company that's collect and control all the books.
Yes.
Okay. But when the books at the end of the fiscal year, the books is going to be checked and the money is going to be distributed evenly, accordingly. So there is no conflict of interest unless he is doing the fairest thing.
Then thank you so much, sir. So conflict of interest exists when you see the person operating in a particular way. So I am confident that what Christopher Williams is doing is good for the league. So the fact that, so follow me, the fact that his company is doing that, though it could be deemed conflict of interest, when you check the revenue structure and the books, there is no illegal activities happening or anything untoward happening. Therefore, we have no problems with it. The issue we have is what? Because watch this. If no Cavaliers players ever made a national team and if Craig Butler were the coach and there's never been a Phoenix player in it, we wouldn't have a problem. The problem only exists that if we believe that the people who are in it are not good enough to be in it, and therefore we say you are selecting people who don't deserve it. So that is what needs to be controlled, because changing the ownership
But you said something earlier, man, that erase all that conflict of interest with Mr. Speed, So it's more, that's why I say Craig sound bitter. Because at the end of the day, if you said there is not many Cavaliers players been picked over a period of time that's represent the national team, it's just a limited amount.
Well, Mr. Butler was, in fairness to him, Mr. Butler was talking about players going to England. But no, Jamaica player.
But if players
people have this
misconception.
Listen, people have this misconception, like the English FA and thing love Jamaicans and are looking at Jamaica. Them no want a Jamaican at them league, brother. So you have to go through Europe. We mustn't fool ourselves. This is not like America where gladly welcome we.
And the next thing again is not like say Mr. Speed can go and force any player into the English Premier League. The people have to see them and see them fit the quality where they want, and them have the talent to play in their club to put them. So miss him now. If him have a business, the running the club, the Cavaliers is a business. So if it's a business to send player into Europe, I know every player we go to Europe have to go through the national team. So him now do nothing wrong with so. When Mr. Butler do is try to put some more players over Europe, make we see some more Leon Bailey.
All right, I'm going to give you some more information. All right, Mannings, do you know that the Proven and Digicel are the only companies in the JPL that takes up a space on all 12 JPL teams in the league? All other sponsors are only placed on a single team kit. All right, watch this. You know that there was listen, so sometimes we talk, there is a company that would have sponsored the league for even bigger monies. But my understanding is that it's a financial company. But if a financial company is running the league, you could say conflict of interest would prevent it from accepting sponsorship of a major amount from an ex-financial company.
But no, man, that's supposed to be the ship. The league supposed to be accessible to any company and all company to be partner in all company. Look on the NBA, for instance.
Anyway,
you know, like what for them is partnership. Them a partner with ESPN. Them partner with all these big corporations. So the more people on board is the more money.
Listen, more you have to do. A long time you know come Jamaica. I want you to come Jamaica.
Just become a Jamaica recently, man. Maybe a Jamaica about 3-4 years ago. So, one thing. 3-4 years ago.
Anyways, we'll take a call. We'll take a call from the next junglist. We'll take a next call from the next junglist. We'll call him back.
Yeah, man.
All right, Gunners boss. Yeah, man.
Look at boy. Where they are listening.
Yeah. So, people, what I'm saying is that I just think like it's the people, the decision that the people are making, you need to govern it. So if Mr. Speed or Mr. Butler, like if Wendell Downswell as a technical director, if you see a lot of people from Western Jamaica, he must be questioned. He must be questioned. Say, how come so many Westmoreland persons are, because you're from Westmoreland, how come so many persons from Westmoreland? People could look and say, no, listen, every Jamaican team that has ever been picked, do you know that somebody from Clarendon is in it? And almost all the persons who have been at the helm of our football are connected to Clarendon. Is there a conflict of interest? Almost every Jamaican team that has ever been picked in our time, right? From under 17 to under 20 to senior team, there is a Clarendon. They are the only parish outside of Kingston and St. Andrew that has that distinction. Every single one, from youth team to senior team. Do you know it is from that belt that the majority of our presidents and the helm of the leadership come out of. A person could look at that and say conflict of interest. But the truth is, the next side of the thing is that Clarendon always produce good youth footballers. Obviously, that is going to happen. Yeah. So let me check out this one. So that's what I'm saying. But I don't know, man. I think Mr. Butler has some very, very, very good point. What is the right thing, Champ Deck? What is the right thing?
Malians.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Champ Deck said, Champ Deck said, he expect better than me. We need to do the right thing. So tell me, what is the right thing? Talk to me.
Yeah, Malians. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, some work me on there. But anyway, though, what me that say, I just want to ask, what you think, me you give your spill?
Yeah.
And everything on it. My question to you is, how you think we're supposed to go about this? Because obviously you are saying you think Speed shouldn't be in a position there. But at the same time, you argue the argument on the other side. Because I get what you're doing. You say basically, you can't eradicate everything, but you have to do something. You can't leave it like that. Something has to be done about it. You can't leave it like that where you have a person like Speed and the technical committee, right?
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, brother, even if there's no Cavaliers players, I did say that if there's 0 or there is 10 Cavaliers players, me think him still have to go. And the reason why I'm still have to go, because you cannot have, me never believe in a manager of a club. And in Fim case, he always say, owner. Me don't believe a man who actually run the football for Cavaliers should be a part of the technical committee. Well, if them can designate something else for him, though, like you say, him can do certain other things and whatever. But we just don't think it right, brother, for that happen. You can't stop corruption, brother.
So here's where you and I agree, Kurt. You see, when it come on to, because remember, the issue we have with Speed on a technical committee is selection.
Exactly.
So here is the issue. If you're going to select players, and that is the issue that would cause conflict of interest, remove the power of player selection from there. That is the solution. Because the person may still have value to the organization. Craig Butler has great value to Jamaica's football. To say because he's at Phoenix he should not be a part of football is not the way to go. It is to say, listen, we want you to be involved in the program. However, because you're a part of Phoenix, we will not include you as part of the group, the committee that selects our teams. Because we want to remove all perception of conflict of interest. And we figure if you're involved in any selection and Phoenix players are selected, there's going to be an issue. That is the point I'm making.
I think a lot of people in the comment section, including myself, was saying anything against that,
No, what the people are saying, which I disagree with, is that if you are part of a club, you should not be in any administration of football in Jamaica. That don't make no sense. That may start from, and people are saying me wrong,
But listen. There's still ways where them can go. But listen, you cannot stop the way how people perceive things anywhere, and you can't even stop corruption. But my thing is this: if you can minimize certain things, or in your, like where you proposed earlier, like you said, move him to somewhere else, that's okay. But a lot of people just don't want to see it. I'm gonna tell you something what you said earlier too. You said about if Craig Butler say him sign over whatever things to him that and him take over whether JFF or something to do in a JFF, I still basically no, it's not. It's not the same thing, brother. If him still there and I run the day-to-day thing like a Speed around the day-to-day, Cavaliers, in basically him a run Cavaliers. He is the man behind Cavaliers, and then you is a part of the technical committee. It's a different look, brother. It's not the same thing. If you said I'm signing over all of this, whatever, to my daughter, my son, or brother, whatever, and you say my full-time thing with me, I don't know, is with the JFF. It's different, brother, than when you say, all right, me a Cavaliers manager, boom me in the JPL, then me move over, me I do things as with JFF. Brother, it look funny, brother. And then, even if again, like I say, if you're not pick no Cavaliers player, people, if you give up Cavaliers and you are run JF and you are part of the JFF committee, a part of the committee, and then pick a Cavaliers player, no, nobody can say nothing. Nobody can say nothing, brother. Because you now run nothing with Cavaliers. But when you are Cavaliers manager, brother, you are Cavaliers football manager.
So all right, so follow me. All right. So listen, all I'm saying, people. Let me calm down. And all right. So Dalton Wint used to be part of a club. Mike Ricketts used to be part of a club. Raymond Anderson, all the persons involved in football. Remember, I said this earlier that part of the whole constitution, I think this is in CONCACAF, that you have to be an affiliate. So remember this. Remember when, for example, Craig Butler was going for president, his club was affiliated to St. Anne. So he paid his affiliation fee, and so you have to be an affiliate. So for the role of president, you have to be an affiliate. Now, where all of us agree is that once you, Barry Watson, Carver, all of them, right? All of these guys are part of club. But watch this. But once you become the president, I agree that your connections, whatever role you play, you have to cut off from that club. What I am saying is that even though I have given up my rights or whatever you want to call it, shares, it does not, if I am a corrupt person, if I think immoral, it doesn't stop me from still finding players there. And that is what we need to prevent. How can we get that is the point I am making. How can we
don't know why in a speed heart or in a speed head. It's only when speed talk, we know what speed I think, We don't know where speed I think and the next man I think. We don't know where the next man I think. Brother, I said and done, when you come up with at the end of the day, are probably the best thing. If them can designate him to somewhere else, to do something else, that would be good. That would be good. Because when you talk about Dalton Wint and all of them, hear what you say, you say used to, you say, him still currently is.
Right.
So used to and currently is, again, it play a big part, brother. It play a big part because you're not going to find nobody, and this is where you're right, where you use 100% right. You're not going to find nobody whether they are the highest level of football for be a part of JFF that never been part of our club. You're not going to find nobody.
This man is telling me, you think it's in CONCACAF, Stephen James. Go and check the constitution of the JFF. And anybody from the JFF can call. You have to be an affiliate. Me know the process. And in the CFU, you have to be an affiliate. You can't just get up and run in a Trinidad or in CONCACAF. I want to hear Stephen James. Where you be, man? I want to hear you relax yourself, man. That's man talk like, come on, man.
Yeah, but that's just common sense.
Come on, man.
You can't just get up and say you're run. You have to be affiliated, like you said. But brother, when it's all said and done, if him can be designated, it's his speed. Sometimes I say, when I say about speed and it sounds bad, me respect speed as a football head. I respect him as a football. I just like the fuck of the matter. He manage Cavaliers and him involved in a JFF because there's other club that have other players. To me, it kind of give the Cavaliers players them an edge for going at the team, for make it in the team.
And listen, and I'm saying that. Listen, here's what I am saying to you, Kirko. Because, sometimes people, like a lot of times you need to listen to things. Remember, I'm saying that there is the perception of conflict of interest. And perception is reality. Mr. Speed can't deny that, What he can deny is that he's not operating that way. But the perception is going to be there. Because, listen, one, if no Cavaliers player don't get selected, people are going to say, spite the youth them because you know where you are the wrong. Here, if Cavaliers players get selected, people are going to say the same way. Yeah, select Cavaliers players because they're in there. So the perception is going to be easier. I know there is also the truth that, watch, right? And I know that the truth is that he often says he doesn't select the team or is not in team selection, and the technical committee don't do that. But let's go to Mr. Butler, because I am also saying to you that I believe like a person like Craig Butler can help advance Jamaica's football. And I don't think we need to go. I think like, listen, you know who's the next good person for them to get in the process? Peter Gould. But if somebody is going to tell me that for Peter Gould to be in some place at the GFF to help, he would have to give up Mount Pleasant. Wall a Santana protest and tell him to not do nothing for the GFF and stay at Mount Pleasant. Because Mount Pleasant is so integral in the holistic development of St. Anna. People want that. But people still want him to add his value to the JFF because he can do that in terms of strategic planning based on his expertise and accounting. He can do that. So he may be able to say, okay, I can volunteer my time. I can give some time to help you. But if you figure that he is going to have some bias towards his Mount Pleasant play, you don't put him in any space or place where he's allowed to do that, but still use his expertise. That's all I am saying. But the broad scale idea that there are other people, and I talk about other people are there who can run football. Kirk Rowe, you then on the football long time like me. You know, say the same people them are run football, are the same people them from where Utah grew up. So people coming and tell me about other people.
You're the thing we need for change, and you're right, you know. But you're the thing, people. This is how we know with Jamaica. People don't like take an apprentice, you know. A job them don't like take them don't like show people things, you know. You know, I notice I want a country, Jamaica want a country where people rather me I go do this, me I do that, because me don't want a man to know this, me don't want a man to know. People don't like show people, take on a young youth and show them certain things. And because if them don't do that, then all of them man the way you attack could have got help the JFF and leave somebody else to go and run with a Mount Pleasant, Cavaliers, whatever. But a lot of them people, them don't like take on apprentice. Me say I watch a thing from Mona where Craig Butler, I think I'm assistant coach. Mm-hmm. I'm assistant coach. And so that's what I'm telling you. And I know a man who personally know him. And the man I tell me, oh, basically him I teach the coach, the young youth certain things. That's one of the things I respect about Craig Butler. I respect him for that because him will teach, him will take on an apprentice. A lot of them people don't like do that because you see, once you have an apprentice, brother, you can move on to something else and the other person run. But for them man, they leave like what you said, for him leave Mount Pleasant, for the brother they leave Mount Pleasant, it's going to be a problem because who are going to run Mount Pleasant? So he must stay at Mount Pleasant and still work with the JFF, and I saw it go. No, them are the two things.
Exactly. So let me give you an next point, because people keep saying get other people. There are many other people out there. There are very good Jamaicans out there and things. All right. So there are many good Jamaicans out there that want to be involved in football, don't it? There are many brilliant, and people are talking about, they call all kind of names. Get Chris Williams. All right. So find Chris Williams. Call out all the names. Because you guys really think it's so let me give you some stuff. You think it's only football in Jamaica that is the same people and people stand by? You think with track and field is better or netball? Don't make the results in track and field fool you about the administration of track and field. Check with netball. Check cricket in Jamaica. Check cycling. Check those things in Jamaica and see the administration of it. We can go into other sectors of communities in society. Again, let me tell you, this idea that there are people out there who are ready. Because listen, say Annette Garden no want to give them club. People love the football, you know. 5 of these same people here.
Yeah, but you can't compare. You can't use Annette Garden and Tivoli Garden as example.
No, political package. So that's let me use a different team. Yeah. I'm going to use a different team. let's use Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, perfect.
Let's use
Perfect
Mount
club
Pleasant.
for you.
Do you know that there are many people in Jamaica who could come together and start because they want to transform football? They believe that the JFF is corrupt. They believe that the JFF needs to be kicked out. They believe that they have the philosophy, the idea, and they also have the money. Why don't they just go in a community like Hanover that for so many years have not had a football team and invest there and start something?
Yeah, but hold on there. But all right, so you said two things in one now. Oh, you told me if you talk about what them think about JFF, and then you say why them going to Hanover.
Yeah.
I mean, where exactly you're going with that though? Because you start off saying that they think the JFF is corrupt, and then you say so.
No,
so
move. In other words, no man. So the point. So all the people in JFF, they are corrupt. Let's all agree on let's all agree that the people in the JFF, we all agree, they are incompetent and they are corrupt, and there are better people in Jamaica who can administrate and run the football. All right. So all the people who are involved in the football, remember when we talk about the JFF, so all the people in all the parishes and everyone in administration needs to all move out and bring in a new set of people. I am saying to you, why can't some of these same people start working in the parishes that they are and bring the change now? Because listen, there's nobody that me personally have confidence in who needs to get a position to bring change. It's because you bring change.
You said there's no. Let
me point out because
there's nobody.
No, man.
You have confidence in?
There's no person that I have confidence. Follow me. No person. Because here's what I believe. I believe you do the work, you get promoted to the position. I don't put people in place so they can perform. People perform and you put them in place. And that's part of the problem I have with how we appoint people in football. We don't appoint people who are performing. We put people in position to perform. So here's what we need to do. Some of these same people that we have the great ideas about, just like how Chris Williams got involved in the football, just like how Dennis Chung has gotten in and he's working with the JFF for whatever reason, as corrupt as we say it is and incompetent as we think it is, he has been working with them. So we need more people like that. Why don't we find people, some of these same people, go and take up things in Kasafa? Start there, just like Andre Virtue doing. You look at the people who are doing things, just like Craig Butler is doing. These guys are investing their time, and these are some of the people we need in it. People like Andre Virtue, who are actually doing it, and we have evidence of that.
Yeah, but man, there's a good old boy club, you know. There's a good old boy club where I give you a fight. Let me tell you this. Anytime you come with something new, anything you come with something new, you always have the good old boy club where I give you a fight. Me I tell you that. So, and it's just something was simple I got able to do like that because you can't start.
Everybody are talking about bringing these people. What are they doing now? Why should I believe that I need to go and find the best executive in St. Anne to put in place of the present parish president? What evidence do I have that he's going to do anything about the football?
And you're right. No, I agree with you about that. There is none. But my thing again, you know, Mr. Ricketts and him crowning them and the people them were supporting where some of them will tell you one thing, you know, when them come on your show or whatever, and then behind closed door, them support the arms house. When you're in a powerful position, you know, it's hard to get you out, you know. And Ricketts in a powerful position because I won't at the parish president them back him.
Yeah.
I won't let them back him. So him in a strong position, and him know that. Why you think him always laugh? Laugh when any little thing and people say nothing, him laugh it off and just because I know say him in a powerful position, brother. So you can't just come so easy and say yeah, get him out. That's why I'm kind of just shake my head more time and say it look like say Jamaica football as far as the JFF are always in the arms house for many years to come, brother.
Bro, so let me tell you this again. Let me tell the people, Kirkwood, hey, one thing with Jamaica, you see part of the thing with we you said we have a point, and maybe I am guilty of this. You said we have a point, we don't listen what other people are saying. Because I hear what you're saying. And I am agreeing with you, Kirk, that here's the thing. And I keep on saying it. That whether Mr. Speed, Mr. Butler, or the rest of persons in the JFF. Because, all right, I'm going to give you a good example. Mr. Danny Beckford recently did an interview. And in his interview, he was talking about players from St. Anne. Intrinsic in that there is a problem. What does it matter if they're players from St. Anne national team? You're not there for the parish. You're there for Jamaica's football.
Exactly.
Right? So more understand the point I'm making. So even in that, you see the point I'm making. So in that, even that kind of speech is saying, hold on, how come your parish come in this? This is not if you're part of the administration, it don't mean that a person from St. Anne have to make any team.
But Mannings, it always been like this. It always been like this, and it hasn't changed. It's like me and you say the same thing, and it always been like this. But that's why I said.
All right.
Go ahead.
So may I get to my point? So the people, listen to what I'm saying. There is conflict of interest. Whether people are operating ethically and unethically, or unethically or immorally, we probably see signs of it, but we don't have evidence. Some of us will say we have evidence. So what we must govern, watch this, what we must govern is the decisions. What guides these decisions and what measures we can put in place that even if people come in with conflict of interest, they cannot go outside of these boundaries and borders because they have guidelines to keep it. So therefore, no matter what decision a Speed, a Danny Beckford, a Craig Butler, Elaine Walker-Brown, any one of them make, their decision cannot affect the final state of the thing. Because there are guidelines.
There are guidelines. Come up with the guidelines. Are the same people that are going to come up with the guidelines, brother?
And this is where now, all right, Kirkwood, this is where now I think we need to go to a body outside of the GFF to create documents of ethics to govern how they operate. You understand me? Because that is the only way. Because I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, because even if yes, you say we need to go outside, that's still have a say in money.
No man, and the people them need to change. Listen, there are people who here's what I think. The biggest reason why I want change in the JFF is because I think some people have proven themselves to be incompetent. There is incompetence. And so because of that, I think people should not be in their position because of incompetence. But this idea that these people who have been in football should just disappear and just new people come in, the process is not going to happen like that. There must be guidelines and there must be enforced.
When it has said that, it complicated because even with the things that where you are come up these ideas, that I still think when it has said and done, the JFF have to play a part in that. The people them who's at the top, because when you say even with the outside and if CONCACAF have certain things where them go by and the JFF have go by the rules and regulation of CONCACAF, anything have to change in a Jamaica football, JFF are going to play a significant role in it. The people them were there, and the people them were there, them now going to make or agree with some of these changes where you are talking about. Them not gonna agree with it. So what we have to do, we have to take the small victory them where we can get, take speed and put speed somewhere else, like you say, and them look a small thing there because the big overall change.
No man, I laugh at
The
that
big
Dapper agent.
overall
Hey,
change.
we have to laugh at Dapper agent. Dapper agent. The man give me some beat in all Dapper agent. That the man beat me bad enough. I'll start the
No.
music. Man beat me Dapper agent have beat me bad. I understand me.
Yo,
Big up yourself, Dapper
brother,
agent. Start the music and the rest of the way beat me.
brother.
Yeah.
I just do the one man. You
Eh?
make sure you have a good
No,
brother.
no,
Man.
man,
I
me
just
good
I'm going
now.
to the
Yeah, man.
JFA.
Eh? No, Kirk, here's my thing.
Yo,
Here's
yeah.
again, you know, I, because we're coming back from the Craig Butler's video, because Craig Butler, while at Phoenix, was trying to run for the presidency, and he wanted to coach the teams. So you cannot, in the same breath, be speaking about a next person who have a position, and it is a conflict of interest when you were in it. So I'm saying that should not be your position. Follow me. You understand me?
Yeah, but hear the thing, no. Hear the thing what you
Mm.
said. He wasn't all right. Him did a try, him that run for the president. He never became president, you know. So it's not the same still. I get what you're saying, I get what you're saying, but it's not the same as somebody already and a speed him that talk about, you know. In the video where you play, him talk about speed.
Right.
And as we say, I don't want to go into the circle thing, but as him say, speed have a position for the committee and speed around Cavaliers. He ran for president, but he never win, brother. So it's hard for really use Craig Butler thing because if him did win and then him stay on a Phoenix, then you could have said something. Because who knows if him did win, if him would have stayed on.
No, I agree with that, you know. But here is what I believe, and this is what I said earlier, because I believe that Craig Butler could still play a role in under 20, under 17 football in Jamaica. Because I believe if there's one thing I can say about him, because my team play against Craig Butler teams. His teams play the same way and all the players. And it is good. He's one of the persons in Jamaica who...
The man is a football mind, brother.
All right.
As much as
So,
I disagree with him sometimes, but him is a football mind, brother. You have to give me see, brother, I'm going to give you where you're supposed to. I'm going to tell the man is a football mind.
All right.
But I disagree with him sometimes.
Exactly. So some people don't think me supposed to disagree with him, but me disagree with him sometimes. But so here's why I go and support him as well. I think for him to help Jamaica's football, he should not have to give away Phoenix. As long as he's not allowed to make decisions that are, skewed towards benefiting the Phoenix program, which is the issue some people are having. Which is the issue some people are. Yeah, why?
If me look out on speed, me go look out on the fact that if Butler run the under 20 or whatever team, I don't want that where him still run Phoenix. Because if me go do it with speed, I have to do it with him. Because if him run Phoenix same way him run and him a coach under 20 team, there's a chance again this conflict of interest where him go put more Phoenix player there.
All right, so let me ask you a question. The under 17 coach is Marion Garden. All right. If you see 4 players from Garvey Massey on the under 17 team, how would you feel about that?
It not gonna look good.
Okay. So he should give up. He should give up Garvey Massey then.
Brother, just concentrate on the football on the under 17 team. I just saw me look on it, brother.
All right.
Concentrate on the under 17 team, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Me look on it. So now go run, brother, because I have something here, I have been so.
All right.
Brother.
Yeah, man, bless up. Yeah.
Big up.
Yeah. Good conversation. Yeah, well. By saying he will not. Okay. So he said that he would not want a position in the JFF because he would be acting in the same capacity. Oh, okay. So him not. All right. I hear that. Not anymore. All right. Meron Garden needs to give up his national duties and stick to high school. No, all right, Dapper Agent, how you going to know ready? Yo, sometimes when you go down to a different road in the discussion. But people, so again, people can still add value, but their decisions in the organization is guided by policy. I want you to hear that. People can still add value to a company, but their decisions are guided by policy. All right? Hey, I like this Rob Smith. How the football is, every man is connected to something. It would be amazing if you talk to the clubs, if you talk to some of the people involved in the club football in Jamaica, you will think like Chris Williams, who I think is so good for the football. You'd think like, but how am I operate like that? Because people always saying, okay, if you do this, it's because you're connected to this. What we must do, people, is allow people to add value to something, but still put policy that are enforced, and that is Jamaica's problem. Jamaica have whole heap of policies, but it is not enforced because we like give people a blight, low people. What must happen is that procedures and policies must be enforced. Must be enforced. And I think that is where we are falling short. Because you can put policy in place to cause the system to operate in a way where there's no so-called, even though the perception may be there, there's no evidence to prove it. I know that Mr. Butler says, listen, I think the player is Kemar Reed. I don't know this player. Maybe some of you can add that he is in the top 3 in the Maltese League and he should be in the Jamaica national team. I don't know what position. I don't know the player, so I can't speak on that. Yeah. I can't speak on that, but yeah, I would love to hear how good this player is and who he could get out of the national team. Leon Bailey, I agree, should have been playing for Jamaica a long time. I would love to also see Kyle Butler playing some more football. Whisper has proven himself. But with the under 20 team still, I've seen Donahue Mitchell, very good footballer, but, and this is my opinion, I don't think he is better than Luke Badley Morgan. My opinion. My opinion. Could he have made the under 20 team? I wasn't there. I don't know what the coaches saw. But I don't think from the two players that I saw, Romain Blake, who I believe is one of the more gifted schoolboy footballers we have because he's still at JC, and Luke Badley Morgan, the Chelsea players, from my own observation, they are good young players. I've watched Donahue Mitchell at Mona, and I've seen him before. Very good centre back, one in the making. But I don't know what happened in training. But given what I've seen in the games in Mona and what I've seen of the U20 team, I don't think that he's better than those two in terms of starting. Maybe he could have still made the team as a third, Yo! Hey, listen, I don't know, man. There's some serious power cuts going on around the place. Man is man, you need to conceal that. Bandana says, all right, this is the man. Whatever beat me, but sorry about that, people. JP. Hold on. They need, hey, people, we need to get to one done. MUFC 45 from around Sunday. You understand me? This is a return of 48 hours. We need to talk to one done. They need to stop being biased and select our best players at all times. How some people of influence in Jamaica's football sleep at nights. Stop victimize Coach Butler and his charges. The man foolishness. Reed is better than those players, especially Bygrave. I'm willing to bet you have never watched the player play in Malta. All right, man is man. You are one of the biggest problems in GFF is that they can't identify. Man is man. You one of the biggest problem with the J. You want or should that be one of the one then Manchester United lost make a missing words or something, brother. Type up the one the better and come again. Coach Rizzi. Yo, me need some of the style and the flavor internet where you have over there make the city lack. I understand because we internet. Yeah. You understand it. I rebuild a football administration. All right. Hey, so people, let me say, if a player is good, he should be in the team. You understand me? What is man? Can't figure out if a man diss him or not. No, so one done dissing me. Wanda, the man them say you diss me. Explain this to me because are you saying that I am one of the biggest problem? Or are you saying one of the biggest problem with the GFF? I don't know. Because Rob Smith say you diss me. I don't know how that is. One that can diss me, man. After 6 I have them dead leave 3 and 9 hug over Manchester United. Manchester City take 6 and give them 3 and leave 1. You understand me? So also the 10 have them split up. Wicked. Big up one that. No, but here's the thing, people, right? At the end of the day, I think going ahead with Coach Himir Hal Grimison, we're gonna see the best players. And where I'm at right now, I find it hard. I don't see 5 players. If all our players are fit and ready, I don't see more than 2 players locally who could possibly be in a 30-man squad. And my opinion is that right now, Jamaica's best players available, we don't have a local player in a starting 11. That's me. I think the highest prospect we have locally right now is Richard King, and he is not a sure starter. He could make a bench. Good young player, could make a bench. And I think he needs to move. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant, man. No, Eagle Republic, Brian, Dennis Chung is the general secretary. You didn't get the memo. You didn't get the memo. Yeah. And what I'll say is, too, is this. Listen, I want the players to be like, when our players going to Europe, right? And I don't know the Maltese league. I don't watch the league there. I don't follow the games. But I like to see our players move like how I see Leon Bailey moving from Malta to Genk
to Germany to England. I see Kaim Paris moving from one club to a next club, and he could be moving again. I see just forgetting his name. Shamar Nicholson as well. That's what I want to see. The players starting out and moving. If you're not moving, that's why I have a problem with the USL players, because they are stuck in the USL. I don't have a problem if they start there, but they must move. They must move. All right. All right. No, man, that's what I said. In a starting 11, I don't think there's a local player that I think that can get into a starting 11 with our best players available. I did say in a 30-man squad, you could possibly find 2 to 3 local players in a 30-man squad. All right. Yeah. So Demario Phillips can be in there, and you understand me, there are other players that if you're selecting a local base squad or USL players, you will probably select some of them. You understand me? So that's your this one says, man in speed at the king the same way him do busy, waiting on big money that probably never come and the youth get stuck. No, but it all right. Rob Smith, man, we know if we talk things though we don't know, man. If you think that really happened, didn't remember, it is not the club, Remember, at the end of the day, it's an agent. So didn't King sign with one of those big agencies? International, the same agency that Sancho, I think, is a part of. I'm almost certain that he signed with one of those major agencies. Man, Reed is one of the best players in Malta. Just started playing for a top 3 Maltese club in the winter transfer window. Like I said, I don't watch the Maltese league, so I couldn't speak on it. That is just the truth. Yeah, man. Really, bless up. My name is Milaiko Arsenal. No, listen, Arsenal, win league, Arsenal. We're not contenders, man. We are just pretenders, man. We just keep the top pot. We just keep the top pot until you understand me. One day until Manchester United ready for it, and just come and take. We just keep it. We just holding it for you. We just like you understand me. We just like a bank, and you deposit the trophy for us right now. Also withdraw it. You can bring academy players from Europe forward. Yeah, I have no offer in front of me. Yeah, but I can understand that him don't have the offer yet. He may not have the offer yet, but the position is his. So the Formula Sport, I bet you I have watched more Phoenix play abroad than you. Even when he was hyping up Kyle, I could see where Butler was lying. Atkinson a good either when he was hyping him up. Okay. All right. If there's under contract, who get the last word? The agent can negotiate. I don't know how that works, because if it's under contract and think, the JFF can actually step in if needs be. But I don't think it's that though. I don't I don't know. I don't know. I don't know Rob Smith, but I don't like to say things that I'm not unless I have the evidence to prove it. I don't want to say it. And I know you're better than that, right? Formula says, I agree about Kyle and Atkinson. Them never ready, but Kemar Reed deserves a chance and has deserved it for a while. What position Kemar Reed plays? What position he plays? So you're saying, Formula, Kemar Reed can make Jamaica starting 11 right now? Just asking. Because I need to get a little scoop on him. So talk to me. You say that he's good enough to make the Jamaica starting 11 in what position? Yeah. All right, so Fresh God, because you look like you know. Can he make Jamaica starting 11? All right, so fine. So he's a forward and an attacking midfielder. Can he make the starting 11? So Jamaica playing Mexico. The players are here. Can he make the starting 11? I think we have a call coming in. Let me see if we can take this one. Hold on. Oh, jeez. This power cut messed me up. What? Let's see if we can fix up. Let's see if we can fix up the phone call. See if we can get this call going. And we have around 20 minutes or so left. We have something big coming up in the people. We have Andre Fortune from Trinidad and Tobago. He will be on the show on Sunday. You know, that is going to be a big one. And we have a big launch on Sunday. And that is going to be when we launch one of our new products. You're going to enjoy. So let me call back. Formula was called. He can sub in. So Mikel Antonio start and he comes in for yesterday. He's ahead of Shamar Nicholson because you have Shamar Nicholson, Jamal Lowe, and Mikel Antonio. Which one of those three he can play ahead of Balakar? Hello? Sir Formula. Good to hear your voice, madam. Here. Yeah, man, doing good. Giving thanks. I am telling you. You're some lightning and thunder. Yeah, you know what though? You know what I need to get? I need to get one of those. Oh geez, I think they call them some backup stuff. So what happened when there's a power cut? It can store. Yeah, it can store your computer and all of those stuff, so the things don't get disconnected because of how the system is set up. I let it. The thing goes off to protect it, but it don't keep it. The surge protector cuts off everything so that the power surge don't affect it. So I have to restart it. You understand me? So I need to find something that can like store the power. But go ahead. I know you're talking because Fresh God is saying not even Johnson Clark came over. So I think it's okay. Okay. Oh, them say them. Oh, them not hearing you. Hold on, family. They must say them not. Fresh gonna say them not hear you. All right. Call back. All right. They're not hearing. How come they're not hearing you? And I'm hearing you. All right. All right. So let me see it. Yeah. No. All right. So hold on. I'm going to hang up and then call you back. So let me see if that can work. All right, people. Sorry about that. So I need Formula to speak. So Formula is muted. No man. So let me just hold on. Just give me a minute, and we're going to reconnect Formula.
All right. So if you're hearing me when we talk to family, you should be hearing him now. Mike, what a go on, Beadle? Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. Rasai. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yes, family.
Yeah, me talk now and see
All
if
right.
them can hear me.
Fresh God. You hearing now? Because he's talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that our best 23-man squad Reed is not in it. There are a number of strikers that are ahead of him for sure, right? He, the likes of a Johnson Clark, the likes of a Corey Burke, the likes of a Antonio Roof Boza, right? They are ahead of him, no doubt, sure. But on occasions, like for instance, the Cameroon game that is coming up where they're saying that we would not have our best players available, right? And if a player like Kemar Reed is available, we can give him a chance. And we have to remember as well to that Kemar Reed is capable of playing multiple positions, right? He's not just a through the middle kind of forward. He can play out wide. And he has even played games in the Maltese League as an attacking midfielder. Seen? So, I think that, like for instance, we saw Bygrave, right? Now, many of us, including myself, don't agree or did not agree with Bygrave, being in the mix for the World Cup qualifiers, right? But if a Bygrave or a Fletcher or a Kwasa Chung we have seen in recent times play for the national team in moments like that, when the squad is weakened for whatever reason, whether availability of players or injuries or stuff like that. Reed is a player that on many occasions I thought deserved a chance based on the squad that we had for that respective game. He deserved a chance to, certainly he was better than many, if not all, the players in certain squads that I've seen in the last number of months that have represented Jamaica. So that's my take on Kemar. But
Okay.
I think
It's just that he should be given an opportunity. But I think what about the persons who would say to you, it's not that we agreed with Bygrave, so why would we go for Kemar Reed? What about the persons who would say that? They are not saying that. We are not saying that to pick Bygrave over him. We are saying that none of them should be picked.
and that is a fear. I have number of months and a number of occasions I've seen national squads with inferior players to Kemar Reed being in the squad.
Okay.
In the last number of months I've seen that.
Okay.
Inferior forward to Kemar Reed being in the national squad.
I need to watch the Maltese League, how competitive is the Maltese League? How good is the quality?
It's one of the lesser leagues in Europe for sure, but the quality is still, in my humble opinion, good. I hear
that like Norman Campbell, plays in a higher quality club than even what Karim Paris was in before Karim Paris's move. The league that Norman Campbell is in, I hear that the standard of that league is even higher.
Yeah, man. The Serbian league is of a higher quality than the Slovenian league. That's true. But Norman Campbell just start get games in the Serbian league, where Norman Campbell was at first in the Serbian top flight. He was making substitute appearances, and even sometimes, some of the times he was injured from what I understand. But and to be fair to Norman Campbell, the club that he was at first in Serbia before making the move to his new club now, that club, Kukariki, was a top 3 club in Serbia.
Okay. All right, let me just see. Go ahead. Sorry.
The Maltese League is definitely a good ways better than the JPL. A good ways better than the JPL.
Okay, all right. So sure. I'm going to take this on this question, but I'm going to respond and then I'm going to answer your response. So Isalin, respect and thanks for the comment. He says, a man in Mr. Butler was specific to England. So you're making a point about players going to other places in Europe. Seem like you're putting up a defense for someone. All right. So let me go back to what I said earlier. I don't believe that any of our players can leave the JPL and get into England. I don't see that happening, even if they have played more than 15 games with the national team. The only way that will happen is if, like a Ricardo Gardner, we go to a World Cup and they're seen there. I also said I don't see the player who is of the quality of a Ricardo Fuller or a Jermaine Johnson, who actually played they didn't even play a lot of games with the national team. They had actually played a lot of youth football, and that's where they were seen. I went on and I said this, that even now, more players move to other places in Europe, and they don't need national call-ups to go there. Thanks to the yeoman service of Kevin Cohen. I mentioned Kahim Paris, who had less than 15 games. He got there, and none of these guys went to England, but they're making career for themselves in Europe. And that is the pathway that they're taking to go to England. Go to Europe younger, and then hopefully they go through the ranks and get purchased by a team in England. I don't see the sense of anybody trying to give any player locally 15 caps in our national team to get them to go to England. It will not happen. I'm not defending anyone. So, maybe you can respond to that formula, because I don't see a player playing 15 games and is good enough that a team from England is going to get him from Jamaica.
What level in England though? Remember there are multiple levels.
Well, maybe that is true. Maybe the level you're talking. But
we have League 1, League 2, National League, fifth tier, that sort of thing. Local leagues they made a move to England in the last number of months. So I think I Dulwich ham up the club name.
Yeah.
That is in like the 16th. It's in like the 16th.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be talking those kind of leagues, man. I'm talking, kind of higher tier. Yeah, I talk Premier League, Championship, or say like League 2. I find it hard to believe that.
The last player I remember making a move from the JP. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's Kemar Daly.
Kemar Daly.
Yeah.
When he went to what the club up Plymouth, Argyle, I think.
Yeah, and I think he went on trials.
No man, I think he was signed to the club for like 6 months or something like that. I think he was actually signed to the club. Like he was there for a little while. Play like he never get much game time with them though. Never played a lot. Featured very little for them if memory serves me right. But that he's the last one, and that was like either League 1 or League 2.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, Issa Allen. So it's not in defense of anyone. So what I'm saying, the point that Mr. Butler was making about putting players in the team so they can have 15 caps. Like, I don't think no Phoenix player need to be in the national team. I don't think no Cavaliers players, no Arnett Garden players, no Cephas has moved, not to England, but overseas. But he hasn't even played a game. So that idea that players need to go ahead.
Yeah. No, you're right. That rule is only applicable to England. There are a number of other, well, from my understanding, it's only applicable to England.
Yeah.
There are a number of other leagues right through Europe that there are plenty of opportunities there. The man, Jeremy Lynch is a better player than Kemar Reid.
You see, because I don't know, I can't risk, but I have to leave you to fight them on that one. Because really and truly, it would be unfair for me to speak on Kemar Reid. I can tell you this about Whisper, that Whisper is one of the top players in schoolboy football this season. That I can say. Yeah. Right, I have seen him, and I have seen other players. You have a guy from Manny's name, Jamalik Porter, who scored 5 goals in one game, but Whisper is ahead of him. You have Matthew Ellis, good player, but I think Whisper is ahead of him. I know military go to six differently, but I think so. You have like Romain Blake at JC, but he hasn't played enough game. Marquand Aldridge, they have not played enough game, but whisper to me is so right. So I think like he is the best. So there are many things Craig Butler right on, but this idea that players need to get into national team to move anywhere is like it has to be a non-argument. No.
The only players that for the senior team, the only players that I've seen in Craig Butler's stable in the senior team that I would say at some point or another deserve that chance. Obviously, Leon deserves more than a chance.
Yeah,
Kemar Reed and Martin Davis at one time deserved that chance, but Martin hasn't been on the best form in quite some time. He had a poor season last season. But I've watched a lot of Kemar Reed in Malta, so I know he's a decent player. I mean, he's probably not as good as Butler hype him up for, because you know Butler got exaggerate. Yeah. But he's a decent player that, you know, with injuries or with players not being available for one reason or another, you know, could be in and around the setup, you know?
Yeah. Let me just take a couple of one. KY says, but man is man, it would seem to me that it was possible that players were being pushed in the national team for caps. Man like Topi. All right, so remember when Topi just got called to the national team, he deserved it when he just got called. If you go back to when Topi just got called, it was after that under 20 tournament that I think he was one of the leading goal scorers in that tournament for Jamaica, you know, that we missed out on goal difference. It was after that tournament that Topi got called, right, Famila, to the national team. I think he went to the Gold Cup, and I don't know what happened between him and Whitmore, and then he ended up being in the States. It was during that time. All right?
Yeah.
So to be fair, I would not say Topi was pushed in because at the time that he got called, it was coming out of that tournament. And I'm just being one of the best players in the tournament. And some, I have to be honest.
To be fair, he was one of the best young players, certainly in the JPL, that's for sure.
Yeah, at that time, he was coming out of schoolboy football. That team with I think Jerome Waite had taken over that team from Vassal Reynolds, if memory serves me right, and they were underprepared and they went and they did well. He ended up after that going to the Gold Cup with Jamaica. I don't know what happened, but he and Whitmore never got along. And then he just dropped off the radar for a very long time. I think he was overseas. He was at some USL team, and I don't know what happened. All right? So now, King, I don't think King was forced into the national team. I think how King had played in the Premier League, we had a problem with players failing to travel. So they had to pick some other players locally, and he was one of the best to pick. All right?
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fair. So all right. So let's look at Zeminis. No, everybody, you know, including me, we were of the opinion that Zeminis was the best young player. For most of us, it was the under-20 tournament that changed our minds. But leading up to that tournament, to be fair, many of us, including me, had Zeminis as a young player who needed to be in and around the national team.
I don't know.
Well, a lot of persons, maybe not you, family, but a lot of persons felt like
that's
this
true,
guy, not even because it was. Go ahead.
No, man, go through.
And this was not just from it was from the season before, you know. It was really the season before, you know. It was the first season when he played for Harborview, and I think he was 16, and he was looking so well, and people started asking. I remember when I was talking about Excelsior, and they said, no, he is a JC player. All right, and many people said that he was. All right, but what happened? He ended up going into this U20 tournament. He had a bad the whole Harbour View experience got worse. They didn't win at JC. Then he ended up having a very poor U20 tournament, and many people changed their mind. All right, but I honestly thought he was good.
The U20 tournament was poor.
Yes.
He was extremely poor in Honduras.
Extremely poor. With Christopher Pearson, if somebody said to me that Christopher Pearson was forced into the team, I could say, well, I could understand, because I don't believe he was the best player in his position when he was called to the national team.
You mean the U20 or the senior?
The senior team we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I even from watching Pearson in schoolboy football, I was never really convinced either. I mean, I see potential there, but especially for a midfielder, I think his knowledge of the game and his IQ is, technical, his footballing IQ rather, and his movement was always a major concern for me.
Yeah. So
major concern.
So that's it. So these guys are they beat very hard, Manning is talking about getting into England. There are other rules affecting the rest of Europe. All right. Are you understanding?
No,
all right, so people, listen what I'm saying. So listen. All right.
So from what I've seen and heard, that not national team now no
yeah. Come on, man. All right, listen. I did not say that Mr. Butler is wrong for saying that you have to play 15 for your national team, 75% to get into England. I did not say he didn't say that. He included Europe. Go and listen to it again. I am not hard of hearing. And I am saying to you that I don't see Jamaica, even if somebody force players in the national team and they play 75%, they are not going to get into the top leagues in England from Jamaica. That's Manningsman's opinion. And to get into Europe, me, Manningsman, not you, not I have seen where players have moved from Jamaica, and Mr. Butler said it too. He said Phoenix don't need the national program. The other players in Jamaica don't need it. So my point is, it is pointless for people to put people in the national team hoping that they can get moved overseas, because you don't have to. And I mentioned Kevin Cohen. Don't miss the point. I'm saying that he's doing such good service. Damani Ralph and all of these other people, to move people outside of Jamaica. You don't need a national team. Cephas never play youth football for Jamaica, I don't know if you realize that.
I've never seen
him don't play youth football.
In a national team.
Listen, people, hold on, let me tell you this. Cephas, we started seeing Cephas in 2020. Let me remind Jamaica, those who never used to watch schoolboy football and watch the Charlie Smith team with Cephas and Trevante Stewart. Cephas came on the scene 2020. After the Premier League was ended abruptly and they had the abbreviated version. That's the first time some of we start seeing Cephas play ball. Except the people that are on it. No youth football. We see him playing. And he has moved. Kaheem Paris played less than 15 games for Jamaica from under 17, under 15, under 20 national team. Norman Campbell, same thing. Krista G. Daly.
Peter McGregor.
Ronaldo Biggs.
I never even played JPL ball.
Shamar Nicholson played less than 15 games for Jamaica. At the time.
McGregor had never even played in the JPL when he had gotten the move to Sweden. But forget the rule, man. Is Craig basically, I think what Craig was saying, in a poorly worded or poorly articulated manner, is that basically them using the national team as a shop window. To play devil's advocate. I think probably that's what he was. He where him got off track is when him get into the specifics of it with talking, including Europe in the whole rule that he was referring to. But I think he was basically saying they're using the national team to market some of these young players,
Yeah, so that is it, people. You understand?
Man, getting out of here now.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
up, man.
yeah, man. Bless up, bless up.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Take
thanks for the
it.
call as usual, bud.
Man, no.
All right, peep. Balakar. Balakar, you know. Mr. Trelawney himself. Balakar. All right, let me shout Balakar, because he was calling me. Where is he? Right here. 29 minutes to go, people. Make sure, Fresh God, make sure we have 100 likes now. Because we are going to leave, you know. What going now? Cry a car. Stop calling you Balakar now, because I be a cry now.
Never that.
Where you go with?
There, never that, man. Oh, me think me hear us just about Karim Paris say, you know, play 15 game in youth program come up. The madman Karim Paris at the star in our youth 20s and
Hey,
under
how much
17 under
count
16.
Balakar? Count too much games Karim Paris play for Jamaica at under 17 and under 20 and come back and talk to me. And don't tell me say him no play. Me tell him don't play 15 in total before he move. Before he moved to Europe, he didn't play 15 games.
Crystal Day Jail is always in a youth program. You know.
He always in it, but if Crystal J. Daly not play 15 games for Jamaica, brother. And they move.
Man, me understand what you say. A good point you make with the ball of them, you know. Because enough of them, because with the Charlie Smith team that we are talking about, we see first them.
Yeah.
The time when them a play for it. Me used to, remember say, anybody that used to watch football now gonna know about them for real. You see me? Because at that time, remember say, Charlie Smith they are the good. I think a JC they lick them, right?
Yep, there you go.
A JC they beat them.
I think the Maggie team they beat them, you know.
Yeah. And you know, I think the next year after that, I don't think if I did Anthony, you know, baby talk, him did there Charlie Smith too.
Yeah.
Or you what you call him baby to the day?
Bebito, yeah, Bebito. I think Fresh God reminding me that it's 2019 and the season ended abruptly. True, Fresh God. And then they came back 2020. Yeah.
I want defender you did the Harbour View, did there to a good sweeper, but when I hear nothing about him, look like them fly out and get work and to get more football at Jamaica.
Yeah.
So
Cedric Titus go on.
Cedric Titus lose so much, man. Them beat I think a 4 from 4.
Then play William Nibet.
No, 2 times we go play them, we put off. I think this week I go play them.
They don't go there when they meet William Nib.
Tell the truth, you know, when you're always in the same zone, you know, but one time we ever beat them and I hear in time when me play at 06, 07.
When you play or when you did on bench?
Yeah?
You hear what me say, man?
Yeah, man, you don't play on bench, man. Man is man.
No, you don't play on the bench, you sit on the bench.
No, sir, don't do that, man. You start, man. But you start, man. Yeah, that did want to unruly youth, you know, but you start now in a William game, man. And beat them 2-1.
Okay.
When Lansling did I play the time, the Cardell seems so they are play too.
Okay.
GR. No, man. I never sit up on bench, you know, but I'm a bench player. Unless me have to go work and come back. And when I come back, I'm in a chair, maybe sit down on the bench. That's it. You can't play football at Tulane and work, you know.
Why?
Unless I would get to play for one of the big team them.
Like which one of the big teams in Tulane, you know?
Now like Harmony. When I say Alan, because Alan no play.
But let me just go back to what we're talking about. Because you're saying that Cameron Reed should be in the national team as well.
No.
Oh.
But that me call to tell about you. You just say who in the start over. Me I tell you say him not have to start. He can sub in off of the bench.
So you're saying
No,
that if you're picking a 23-man squad, you think he can make it?
right now.
Then almost right now we are
No,
talking about
sir.
a car. Eh?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir. Unless some of ball of them injure.
Okay, so
Tell
you're
you.
saying like when we have some of those games, like when we went to Austria the other day to play Morocco and thing, and Qatar, that kind of game we could have brought him in those teams.
Yes. Me feel saying could have bring a them team there. Me feel saying could have played them no one there, but the national team now, when everybody there on farm, even some of my big ball of them go get the photo.
Okay,
Because
okay.
you see fast get left out of the day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then go give a blind. Listen to me now. This is what we want to say now. Then go give a blind to Daniel Green right now. You know.
Yeah. True.
Remember what me tell
Daniel
you?
Green not going to get any call right now, I think.
Daniel Green now get no call.
So
And the youth no play.
based on what you see
bad
now,
game
you
for
think
Jamaica.
so that your baller can replace Bowser?
My baller.
Yes.
The boss are not my baller. We are top of management.
Oh, I thought Whisper was your baller as well.
Yeah, Whisper my baller too, but Whisper to replace Bowser. Come on, man.
No, me just ask you. Just ask you.
Replace Bowser power.
No, but listen, what I'll say though is that I know Whisper Father said that for people who said it, I only can go by. I know Whisper Father said that he was sick during the U20s. But I think he could have been called into that team. But the truth is enough. Here is no fresh God. Whisper can still play U20, you know. So yeah.
If me a Whisper, I want to play U20.
Why?
The madman, they can't disrespect me so with that and then come me back to U20 so.
Why?
Wait till me reach. Now I seen a team me have to go play.
No, Balakar. What you mean? How was he disrespected? If his father said he was sick. His father said he was sick.
A COVID didn't have. And he couldn't move.
If father didn't explain, but Mr. Richard said Mr. Richard said, truthfully, he was sick. He never told us. Right. He never told us. I can't tell you what it was.
All right. Indeed sick. Indeed have COVID.
I don't know that he had COVID.
All right. Me, I tell you what he did have.
Yes.
Say he's sick. And he by the time the team to pick, he would better all right. And when the team gone, you see him there, then play one match and he play full 60 minutes. He pass and gone, then they do it and they make a mistake. All we Jamaican have to do, I just learn from the mistake them and
yeah, but you're saying that he should you're saying that he shouldn't go back and play U20. I'm asking you why he shouldn't go there and dominate it.
No. He might go 17 now in October.
Yeah.
This season done and him he injury free and anything that he might not in a Jamaica, he might in a club. When we go play on the 24th, I seen a team we go to work to go towards.
Yeah, but you just said that with Mikel Antonio, Shamar Nicholson, Ivan, all of these players, Ivan Tony Weir coming up, Jamal, all of those players. He may
hold on. Yeah. Let's talk for a minute. Which Ivan Tony let's talk about?
I just call his name because he could still play. He may not, but he could. He could. I'm just saying that he could. So if Ivan Tony say want to play for Jamaica, what?
So we go use Ivan Tony in a Jamaica team now. And we go play over. Mikel Antonio.
I don't know. That is the coach's decision. All I want to know is that I just calling him, right? So I'm saying that.
Katana Boza. Heard about that.
You're saying that Ivan Tony can have a team over Boza?
No.
Why? I'm just asking.
Ivan Tony is a standing forward. He has to feed off. He can't come pick up one ball and make one dribble. No, man. You want to come in up. You understand me?
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
If you want to come. If you want from him, come.
So Balakar, you really believe that Ivan Tony cannot make Jamaica team?
Of course he can make it.
And him can't start?
But who will go on? He can start. Who will go start over?
Him can start over Mikel Antonio, him can start over Shamar Nicholson.
Oh, remember say this coach play 2 striker, you know. And he now go play 2 standing striker. Mikel Antonio, they play a standing striker. So you tell me now. We watch the game and see a 4-4-2 him going on man.
All right. So what
you
if
start Mikel Antonio? You will start Mikel Antonio and Ivan Tony one time. No, me I talk. It's fun them today. You go start Mikel Antonio
Ivan Tony.
Ivan Tony one time.
Yeah.
All right then. Shamar Nicholson will come off a bench. Now no problem with that. That me just say. So when Shamar Nicholson come off,
yeah.
come
Balakar.
off a bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Shamar Nicholson come off a bench, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dominate the team. And score and then sit there. What happened in the next game? Then do the same thing again?
All right. You know you can't reason football like that though, Balakar. Let me tell you why.
All right.
Let me tell you why. You want me to tell you why? So say you
Yeah.
start, and we're going to go back to the whole whisper conversation. Say you start Mikel Antonio and Ivan Tony. Do you know the kind of
Yeah.
pressure that they would exert on the opponent and the wear and tear on the opponent would make it possibly easier for a Bowser to come on and score? So because the defenders are so tired because they had to be manning Bowser and Mikel Antonio, coach make a substitution. Shamar come on and get footballers weary and he scores. Why wouldn't you apply the same principle or theory in the next game, Balakar?
Man is one. At this present moment, I don't think Shamar Nicholson to start coming off the bench for Jamaica.
You think he should start?
Yes.
And
To me,
bench Ivan Tony?
You can bench anyone. Shamar, me never say Shamar bigger than the bench, you know. But I'm just saying, when me see my opinion, I don't know about the next man's opinion, my opinion. You see where international game can do to a baller. Remember say Shamar Nicholson did low for farm and you know in a league and then thing there. The game when he play against Argentina, he play good in a package, run through, walk up Argentina back line. He score a goal as he come after in international break. You see me, Bobby Reed score a goal too. Mikel Antonio come on and play good too. So overall, the team they play good. Liam Bailey have a bad game. When me feel say Coutinho should have scored a goal there. You understand me? So all round the ball and they play good.
You understand the point here, Bex, but so let's go back to our original point, which is
Whisper.
So because Whisper would not break into the national team, right? He should play under 20 and dominate it.
Play under 20 with who available from the last under 20 team in play under 20 with.
There are other players, Balakar. We don't have to go back to the same players.
Man is one. You get what I says in the players they would just play the under 20 qualify the other day. You know, she said Whisper did they're on the group bed, they're not reaching a World Cup. Me believe so, you know.
You believe if Whisper hold on, Balakar. Do you believe that if Whisper was playing the Jamaica midfield would look any better? The midfield was bad and the defending was bad. So how does Whisper playing cause us to qualify?
Because the goal them way forward them get, he only miss them. He not gonna miss so much of them, man.
How much goal really miss, Balakar? The goals that we miss Balakar, the goals that we miss are in the games that we won.
The game block we lose 1-0. We didn't get any chance. You know to say coach have 2 striker them on the bench. You know to say coach 6.
So you're going to a different. All right. So So you know that you could have the same coach and whisper on the bench. So is it that we didn't have forwards who can score? Are the coach deploy the wrong strategy? Because you just said it, the coach are the strikers on the bench.
For the last game, not the other game. The last game where we got World Cup, the coach of the striker.
Which last game we go a World Cup? We are
the last man is man. The game where if we did win against Dominica, we won't got the World Cup.
So in that game, Balakar, what chances did we get to score that the forwards miss?
At that game alone, we no play no striker.
But so that's what I'm saying. That so if Whisper was there, he would be on the bench if the coach now playing a striker according to you.
Probably no, me not see so because the striker that do good. Because the striker
so you're saying that the reason why the coach never had any strikers in that game, though the coach had strikers in my opinion, is because they are not good.
Simple as that. Man is man, I want things to you know.
Hey, well,
people can talk all they want.
Me rate you,
You see, because me know football, we just deal with it. They can say me buy some more. Remember.
So all right, so Balaka, you don't think we know football?
No, listen what me say no. Me not say no man know football, you know. Remember no man is man. The last Gold Cup, you know. Few we out and deal with Shamar Nichols, you know. Remember some man said he not put on back the jersey. He not good. I'm saying no leave the ball alone. What you go see what are the run back and now.
Yeah, no, right? Man, I don't agree with those kind of sentiments to our national players. Balakar, right. Chris is saying, Balakar, Ivan Toney, League One, 40 goals in 76 games. Championship, 1 season, 31 goals first season. In the EPL, 12 goals in the second season. He's on 5. Management, compare Boza's stats to Ivan Toney.
Management, I wonder if you get what me to say. So what they don't want to call Mikel Antonio name. Because I just other day Mikel Antonio scored double finger in the Premier League.
Double figure. Double figure.
Just other day he scored 1 double figure in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But listen to what me say management. Zin, because some people they use stats and I will say Ivan Toney the score goal. They never say Ivan Toney no to play. We say we can't play 2 of them one time because the 2 of them similar. Mikel Antonio and Ivan Toney. Just check his stats now, management. They must say Shamanicas who can play Cam, one behind the striker so and Ivan Toney up front or Mikel Antonio up front. They must say, you understand what I say?
Well, CC is saying that one is a forward, one is a striker, so both of them can play at the same time. It don't matter.
Mikel Antonio or Ivan Toney?
Yes.
Come on, man. That bias, man.
And they're saying that Fresh God is saying that Antonio was also a winger before.
Antonio can't play winger again because he don't like run back again.
But Balakar, you know that the goals that he scored for Jamaica, didn't he come in off the left-hand side even over in El Salvador?
Ah, boy. Man is man. So you get when me say, so hold on there now. More you tell me this now, you know, more you be honest. All right, we'll use Mikel Antonio and Ivan Toney. Right? Which one of them go drop off the whole of the ball and sit on?
I think Mikel Antonio can do that. He can even drift like to the left. He can play. He can. Remember, as a Balakar, you don't have to play the 2 forwards like I don't know if you've seen like this, you know. You can play one behind the other, you know.
That's true. So, me hear one of the say no. But when me they say, my opinion, I'm not running off of that. Boza Afistar. Then could I hate him go and hate him
no matter I hate Balakar. Oh. No man, nobody don't hate. So, well, you know, say Boza my baller. Boza my
man. So what difference between Mikel Antonio and Ivan Antonio over Boza? You're mad man, no big league Boza the playing at all. That me want to know.
All right, Balakar, you can't ask the people what is the difference, and then when they give you the stats, you say they're not supposed to look at the stats.
Boza have to start with anything. So whether they like it or not, that's how it go. But guess what now? You see the coach rate Boza, right? No, you see that, you know. You see that, right?
Yes.
All right.
So what the coach what?
You see, so the coach rate the ball like he want him have him in a plans to go to move
No, but
forward, right?
nobody's saying that Abalakar. Yeah, I don't want to change this thing because nobody's saying that he should not be in this side.
So why? So why? Because the two striker them there in the English Premier League, who know want
It's
start the
not.
two of them.
No, we never said because. I mean, who said because they are in the English Premier League? What people
So
are
but
saying
after
is that
that,
right
right?
now both of them are playing better than Bowser, so they should start. That's what they're saying.
No. They now watch no Russian league. A be highlight them a watch. Tell them to go watch Russian league and then come back
But
and tell
Balakar,
me
you
that.
can't say the people them now watch the league, Balakar. Who you know they say the people? Eh?
I be highlight them watch. Me I you know say they now get up watch no Bowser. Only Bowser fans they watch Bowser. And them are no Bowser fan. Me I you know that man is man. And me and you alone used to watch Kai in Paris there. A team when they are over so before he move. Man is man, me and you know that. And I'm alone they watch the team now since Karim Paris left because you know remember say
Chris,
Krista J
yeah.
deal is still there. Enough of them now do it, man is man. Me and know the football, them all the stuff in England. They now go nowhere else. Me and you know that.
Who stuck at England? But why? But Balakar, man.
95% of the fans in from Jamaica stuck at English Premier League. They now watch no other league when no Jamaican play now. 95% of the fans them. The other 5% I people them when know the ball of them from Jamaica, they watch the ball of them in a rest of league them where
All
them
right,
a play.
but all right. So in the same way, right? In the same way, you're saying that he has to start, right? And you don't care about the stats. What reason you're saying he has to? Because the stats no matter to you. Who is playing better no matter to you. So why then are you saying he must start? If stats no matter and who is playing better don't matter, why should he start?
Because when he play for when he play and start, he play good. So me to start him. All right.
But you just said that he had poor performances in the Gold Cup.
Who said that?
Isn't that what?
Me said them beat him. Me said them
Why?
beat him
Why?
out of the World Cup
Why?
because them say him have you know good. And me tell them to allow the ball alone. The ball play good in a package of stuff. Enough to play. All right, manins man. We'll work with what you just say. And
Lord
the
have
fans.
mercy. What me ask? Why, bro?
We'll work with what you just say and the fans them now. All right. Shaman Nicholson, not depend no farm as well. Because that them depend better farm than Shaman Nicholson. So, all right, Shaman Nicholson go sit down on the bench, right? Work with me, I say now.
I mean, I listen, man.
Answer you.
Yeah, me I listen.
All right, so Shaman Nicholson go sit down on the bench. Do you see this fear now? See, Jamal Law, they come play for Jamaica when they depend no farm at all and see if I farm. How that look?
And see first.
No one you tell me that.
All right. So a couple of things. What position? What position Cephas play?
Cephas can play on the right or on the left.
What
What
position?
Jamal they play on the right or on the left for Jamaica.
Okay.
Mikel Antonio and Gray play forward for Jamaica.
Hold on. I thought when he came on to play the two forward again. But fine. So number one. So number two is that what is it? Which league is Cephas playing in again?
Me not remember a league, but I watch the game them.
Yeah.
And he must score and he score good.
No man.
Jamal he play in Europe, but in
which nation in which near yeah?
He play in Europe and he not play in one of the top 10 league them.
Okay, fine. All right. And Jamal and Jamal is where playing?
And Jamal they play in England and I get no game.
All right.
In English Premier League.
So you're saying that based on that now, Cephas should be called up to the team over Jamal.
Of course. If you're playing, if me they play in Europe and me they score goal and me they play good, me score a Champions League goal when none of them never score.
Yeah.
And I can't get a card in my country.
Okay. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
management.
No, I don't think anybody would say that. Listen, you think I would love for Cephas to get a call?
Even Karim Paris and my boy, right?
Yes.
And he could have get called over Karim Paris. Because when Karim Paris moved for my new club, Karim Paris just get game things in come out for international.
Yeah,
break
but it's only
because
two.
when
It's about only
when he just
no Balakar, but Karim Paris went there late in the transfer window. They had the game in Europe, and they had only 2 club games. One was a day when he almost like the day after I went there, and the following week. So how was he supposed to play after the international break?
management, he
Yeah?
didn't play. Listen to me, I
But
said
he
the
was playing at
management.
his club before the. All right, go ahead, Balakar.
Yes. And when he got in club, he got his deal when them all play. Them play a couple game, them play around
They played the
4.
Europa game in the week, and then the
Hold on,
following weekend.
man. Them play around 4 game before that. You can't tell them, watch them, management.
Balakar,
And
he
2
did.
Euro per game in go.
Balakar only 1 Europa game. Kai in Paris went, and he was on the bench.
1.
Yes,
Check
before the
again,
break.
man. Check again, man. 2 Euro per game. Guy in Paris. 4 in Compa International game. Remember, man. Remember, say the Champions League did the back to back, before we come on.
Somebody just put up. This person just put up a stat. So Nicholson scored 1 goal for his club out of a possible 21 games, and he's a big baller to some.
Then could have charged Jesus Christ. Him a big baller. Then can't tap him, no matter what they want to say.
Okay.
Ask him how much goal Mikel Antonio scored for his season right now. They need to stop the run with stats. That they need to do. Since the season start, ask him how much goal he scored and ask him what the 2 of them score.
Yeah, but you can't. You're telling Balakar, what you're saying to the people is that they need to stop follow stats. But you're telling them go check how much goal Shamar scored, which is stats.
Yeah, how much Mikel Antonio not gone 3 goals in the Premier League.
Huh?
Mikel Antonio not gone 3 goals now in the Premier League.
Mikel Antonio.
He might gone 3 goals overall. Because he's scoring a Europa League.
How much games Bows are playing at the league already? 21?
21 in a what?
How much games gone in the league?
In a Russian league?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
Probably around 7 games or 8 games gone.
And how many goals him score?
Shamar gone around 2 goals or 1 goal.
Balakar, we don't understand you. Then how you complain? Then how you complain about Mikel Antonio when it's the same amount of games?
All right. So what them a complain? We not complain about no Mikel Antonio, saying better than no Mikel Antonio, Me they tell you, say, he may not have my starting level for the national team. That's all me they say. You understand? That's all me they say.
All right, Balakar, I hear you.
All right. Go check his stats now. So management, him play 8 games this season and score 1 goal in the league. 8 appearance, 1 goal. In the league.
Yeah.
And in a cup them, he have 2 assists. When playing and pick up Quincy Paris other day. So what they have to say? Go check Mikel Antonio stats now, because you don't come up and go on like this and that about that. Who tell you that Ivan Antonio to come play for Jamaica?
No, Balakar, don't get to that. Check Mikel Antonio stats.
I'll check you on.
Yeah.
I'm there, check.
Yeah, check it.
And it's my joke, I don't know.
No, I mean, I listen to you. We can't do.
We can't find where some in that table. Before in there. 15.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, I think Whisper
Mikel Antonio 8 game 1 goal.
Yeah.
8 game 1 goal, management.
Yeah. So, but remember, you check the league for both the cup, right? So you have to check Europa for Mikel. Check that. Check the campaign in Europe for Mikel Antonio, and you'll see.
Mikel Antonio got 3 goals.
Okay.
I
Okay.
wish cup with the top ball. No Europe, no
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah. All right. And you know that Ivan Toney has scored more goals as well.
Ivan Toney now play for Jamaica. We cannot
No,
say that.
no, right. No, Balakar. Here's what. So you started me. All right. Anyways,
I better we say Gray.
all right.
Gray got a lot of goals.
All right. All right. So Balakar. So let's get back to what our original point, which is Whisper need to play under 20, sir.
No, sir.
He needs to play under 20.
He can play under 17 too, right?
No, he's 17.
My 17, him on 17 yet now.
He might go be 17 soon. He can't play under 17. He's going to be 17 before February. So he can't play. All right. But he can play under 20 and he should play under 20.
Then they play, you know. Now wait till me reach 2019, 1920 to play in the national team. Sorry.
Okay. All right, Balakar, that is your opinion. I guess nobody can fight you over your opinion still. That's your opinion.
To then do me no face me could have face to what face no anything there.
All right, boss. Respect for the call, bro. Eh? I don't agree with you, but is your opinion, you know, so I'm not going to fight you on your opinion still.
Oh, you don't agree? Oh, my opinion and my opinion.
Yeah, is your opinion.
So man is man. I wanna go have one EPL one JPL show, cause
we don't do all JPL. We do JPL show that they talk about the transfers and thing, man.
We need to come on the show because we see more players make some signing when they're ready in the time.
Like who?
The youth that were them buy, out of everybody where them buy, are 2 ballers. We see where them buy when they agree with, and the youth them Phillips, and the youth I must name Daxley from Cavalier.
Okay. So you don't
bring in Dyer. Why bring in Dyer when you have better defender than Dyer in the Premier League?
Because maybe none of those defenders wanted to go to the club and they needed a defender to replace the defender that went overseas.
Oh. And I best defender that they could get.
Maybe. What about Nicky Daly? Because CC says that Nicky Daly is better than Whisper.
Nicky Daly is better than Whisper.
Yeah, that's what CC says.
No, that's that too. Because the reason why me that's that, listen, you know, that you was a youth player for Jamaica, right? And him score a lot of goals for Jamaica youth team. And but at his present moment,
yes.
But that's that because in Whisper still they develop. Now I'm gonna rush Whisper and say, yo, Whisper better than Nicky Daly. And we have to start to Whisper on the understand that's a man is plan, you're not gonna be biased.
So why you don't want him play under 20 then and probably supersede Nicky Daly in terms of goal scoring for the youth team?
When in their club, hold on now. When in their club, a Belgium or whoever in there. When he left after this Manning Cup season, Zine.
And him call him.
And him a play in a league. And him a play in a big league and him a score goal. I wish under 20 them go come call me.
But so why we wanted them to call Omari Hutchinson from Arsenal and Kiddo Taylor Hart from Arsenal and Luke Butler Morgan from Chelsea. Those guys are playing at big clubs and they came and play. So why can't he come and play?
I want to forget what me just say. I don't know under 20 league me tell about him a big man.
But those guys were in. Omari Hutchinson was in Arsenal first team.
He never played a game. Which game he played now?
But that is Arsenal who was in the top 6. They were actually top 4. Him not playing on a game, but him there on the bench.
Oh, okay. He not playing on no game. And listen, when I just say, when the ball they play in the league and I play good and I score goal, you tell me say at the age of 19, 18, Jamaica must still call him under 20.
Of course, him can play under 20. Craig Butler even said today that Leon wasn't called at 18 when he was one of the top players in Belgium. So why Whisper wouldn't come and play under 20?
Because I say no, my opinion, Mono making do it.
Every time you make a point and somebody debunk your point, you talk about my opinion. All right, sir.
So my opinion, no one do it after we go on the last one.
All right, Balak, everything is your opinion.
Me just skip past that man.
All right. But
remember, let me make one more point. Remember, you know, they used to say that them hype up the youth. The youth just start play ball, and the youth play some money up to make some people see, man. He all over the Jamaica media now. Everybody have to talk about him.
So
right now.
So you agree that he's the best?
First time so, you play in Europe and play so much.
So let me ask you next question, Balakar. Is somebody said that he's the best footballer in Jamaica right now, locally?
He's the best schoolboy football right now.
No.
Under 20 striker. Right now
Somebody earlier said that Whisper is the best footballer in all of Jamaica right now.
Whisper is not the best baller in all of Jamaica right now. Man is man. Okay. Man, is a football we are talking and a bias we are talking.
No, me just ask you.
Of course, better player than Whisper there in a Jamaica right now. Come on, man. 16-year-old we are talking about. Me tell us say he is the best under 20 player in the country right now.
Wow.
Without a doubt.
Okay. You ever watch a youth named Matthew Ellis yet?
No, watch you all of them.
You watch youth named Reed down at Clarendon College?
I Whisper based in the island. They're under 20.
You watch this guy named Romario Blake at JC.
They come like an eye. This is my best man is man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That is your opinion as well.
No, I will go on in a schoolboy football right now. I know me alone that talk it. I whole like media that talk it. Someone with the media them wrong.
Okay. All right.
What go on about the ball I used to play for Mullines United with their JC? I play good.
No, him gone college, man.
Hodges gone college?
Hodges?
No.
Oh, Mount Pleasant. No, he's at Clarendon College, man.
Aldrich.
Maquan Aldridge. Yeah, he's at JC.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Devante Campbell still in the boat?
Yeah, man.
That sounds good.
But Balakar, I think you need to watch some of the other footballers because I think Whisper is right up there with being one of the best. But you have guys like Matthew Ellis, you have like Javian Williams. I know you don't know some of those names, and that is a problem. You have even down at Garvey Maceo.
Don't worry, Garvey Maceo, number 10.
Cleo Clark.
You're madman, man.
You have let's give you some name that people have brought up. You have Reed, who was at Clarendon College that was supposed to go away, and they asked him to play one more year.
This man is one come on. I wish for the best. I'm sorry to break it up.
Maybe you can say he's the best forward in the league.
My best player in high school football.
All right, boss. Well, that is your opinion, so you know.
I know my opinion alone. So all I media they tell Joe I tell lie then. Yeah, only media me not hear they talk about you know.
Then what family no say that?
Family sports now. Me not see you put up nothing for now.
Not family, I mean military guna believe that Matthew Ellis is
man, not call the brother the name.
Why?
That man not real Whisper. Me not feel serious Whisper. One little thing that go around when the youth they play one practice game, I think against Georges, and all the man have to say, yo, look at you, shoot off your right foot. The way man respond, you know, man. Man said, this a man no foot, man. This a man no right. We say, look for the goal where man score.
What
And
about the
Tony
player?
said,
What
nothing.
about the player named Omar Leng? I think.
Omar Leng na pass off.
Is
Man, man.
no? What about Omar Reed? Is his name? Sorry, plays for Stats.
Live step. Man is man. Dujan, Richard, Whisper are the best in a schoolboy football. I'm not taking back the talk. And I me want to say, me want to know if the people them for sports max that are cool in this stuff. That me want to know.
You know, it is possible though, Balakar. It is possible that the people them on Sportsmax could talk foolishness.
All right. So,
Anyways, I mean, me have got
no, hold on, no. Only that say Emmanuel best.
No, Lord have mercy. You see, you're going down a
play
different.
school,
You're going down a different road. You just said something. I'm responding to what you said about the Sportsmax. You say Una say nobody not saying that. Let me ask you a different question. Why you weren't calling or doing the EPL show about Manchester United? What happened to your club?
Oh, you just said, me never see your show. You should
Talk to me. Just talk to the people. What happened to Manchester United Sunday?
Sunday, you know, see the best, the better team win.
Okay.
And me feel say, the coach make a little blunder. You understand? Me don't know what he must save Casemiro for, but Casemiro have to start in the game. Then. You understand me? Me prefer play for 60 minutes and then take him off. You understand me?
All right. Hey, Balaka, we have a next one, so we're going to take it. So, much respect, brother.
Yeah, man.
All right, respect. Yeah, hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Hello.
Yeah, morning, Jay, hear me?
Yeah, man, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I just make 1 point and him gone. Here, Balakura said, the people them from Sportsmax, I say it and I can't lie them I tell. But I remember a few months ago, everybody of course mainstream media so then corrupt, then lie, then wicked, they don't want to cuss JFF, they don't want to do everything. All of a sudden, everybody now find it convenient to agree with mainstream media. That's all me I say. Look more boss.
The color you're the easier one. No, what I'll say is that listen, I think in the Manning Cup, I've seen him as the best footballer. I have not seen all the teams. I honestly, I have not seen a couple of players that I hear are exceptional. There's this player called Cohen. He's at one of the not so fancy school over there in Clarendon. I think he went to Holland and he's back. I hear that he's an exceptional player. Great, great player. I think his name is Cohen or Cohen. Right? I hear that I hear people say he's the best. I hear people talk about a winger at Glenmuir that he's the best. Matthew Ellis, the winger at Glenmuir. They have the guy at Manning's called Abina Wallace. They say he's one of the better technical players, and Javin Williams there. And there is Reed also that play for Chapelton Maroons and is at Clarendon College. These are the names that I have heard. All right. And I hear they talk about at JC Romy and Blake. All right. So these are the players. Now, I would say, hands down, in terms of attacking players, Whisper is the best. But overall, I think different because of positions and versatility, other people have other names. But I can't give a name because I have not seen all of them. But from where I stand, from what I've seen as Whisper, he is the best in the Manning Cup. Certainly. The St. Catherine captains, he have all of these things. Yeah, so I don't know, and this is the thing because you don't watch. See, this is hear this now. Whisper plays for the best school, so by default he is the best player. Number 7, that man is as a future if he gets into the right environment and opportunities. I think he's in the right environment, brain drain, and he's been exposed to the right opportunities. But Mannings have a number 7, Abina Wallace and Javin Williams that are doing really, really well. They have a couple other players, but so they are players splintered across the place. You understand me? But so I don't know, but I do like Whisper a whole lot, right? Yeah. So what we'll see, we'll see. I mean, like I said, many people believe that because Romain Blake can play right back, left back, centre midfield, attacking midfield. A lot of people say that he's not even playing as much until they get into the second round. Danayu Mitchell as well, the Mona guy, he's a very good player as well. So you have some good players. You also have the St. George's captain, Burkett. Many people have Burkett as one technically gifted players in the league. Ability to control, pass the ball, very technical. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right. Issa Allen, I don't hear from you, You don't say the show. I go E. Right. No, you understand me? So make up your mind. Yeah. For those of you who have not heard, Elaine Ira Thompson is with baby. Yes. Yeah, man. So Elaine Thompson is preggy, nanty. Yeah. Big up Elaine. So when time baby deliver a bullet, first thing what we call her? Like we have Mama Rocket, we call Elaine. All right. Campion Youth. Yeah, the Campion Youth is also good. Yep. But he's young. Whisper is the best because of his ball IQ. He made the game look very easy. But one Dan, have you watched the other players? Because Matty Ellis has not been on TV, for example, and Reed from Clarendon has not been on TV. You have not seen some of the other players. So, but I would not argue with you. Are we getting any under 17 players from overseas to help bolster the squad? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, we're not man say praise. Big up Shellyan for big up Bridget. No man, if you see a look of footballer is good, you're not elevating them above a certain things. It's okay to see a youth is good. It's okay. The youth is good. Duncan McKenzie was a good footballer. We don't overhype them. That you understand me, Vasi and the Congo. We don't overhype them, but a youth is good. A youth is good. Good look of talent, man. You have a youth named Romario Webb. He used to play for he plays for Taki. They call him Rum. He was part of the Mount Pleasant system. Should have been playing for Mount Pleasant. Trust me. Good baller. All right, but we'll take a next one and then we'll close the show. You understand me? Welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Yeah, man, Issa.
Issa.
Yeah, man, actually, I'm ball credit have a conversation with us. They are taking a show and go about to call,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you did make a point, and I was satisfied. So I really want Carl to bring back the show to the point. But one thing I want to say though is when it comes down to conflict of interest, I hear people always, Mr. Speed always mention of if we know of anything, we can bring it forward or whatever. But when it comes down to conflict of interest, it's not about doing the action, it's the perception of the action. Any company going on, anywhere across the world, that is what conflict of interest is. You understand? It's not about you committing the act, it's the perception of committing, something like that. And being a person who did ethics going through college, Like, this is so simple. I can't see why they have it so hard to understand. You understand? It's not about they always try to say, okay, prove that I do this or prove that I do that. It's about the perception of you having the ability to do something. You understand?
Yeah,
In that position.
exactly. That's what I
So
was saying. Is
we can,
the perception is there. So sometimes if you can't avert the appointment, your code of ethics helps to guide the process. Because the truth
exactly
is,
like that is what
the truth is, is, for example, the person with the best ability sometimes have they may not be able to give their talent to transform in a particular thing because it could be family related, it could be politically related. So what you do now, the code of ethics guides how decisions are made. That is what I think we need to
exactly.
control.
Exactly, man. So when they come on the platforms and they say, oh, they're not breaching this, they're not breaching that. Like, come on, bro. Like, we are all people who have sense. We know what a conflict of interest is. So that's just what I wanted to add. You understand? It's not you committing it, but it's the perception of you having the ability to do so. That's why it's called a conflict of interest. It's not necessarily you acting upon the thing. So
Yeah.
when persons from the organization come and say, okay, they're not doing this or they're not doing that. But the perception is there of you to act upon your post that you have. You understand? So that's basically it. So I mean,
Yeah, and listen,
it's easy.
and like I said, without going back, because my thing is this. Yeah, I understand the perception is there. So, for example, say um you say you coach Calabar,
Right?
right? And you have 3 sons who come to the school, right? And I people could say, listen, you can't coach the team because your sons are playing, and there's a perception of conflict of interest. But this is the best coach that has had success. So what I do is says, listen, you can coach a team, and you begin to put things in place. You understand me? To to
Right.
to measure that the decisions made by the coach to play or not to play his son are the best decisions guided by a particular process. Because what you don't want to do, you may not want to remove the coach, because he will help you to win.
Mm-hmm.
But the perception is if his 3 sons start every game, you know what people are going to say?
Mm-hmm. Exactly, man. Exactly. So that's just my take on it. You know what I mean? Even when I was going to college, me have to write one entire code of ethics for the subject. Everybody had to do it. So
There
me
you
have
go,
to
sir.
even
I had
wonder
to
if
do
the
that code of ethics.
organization,
There you go, sir.
yeah.
And you have like
So I
if you do
wonder
if you do like organizational behavior, that's one of them first year books. You do organizational behavior.
right,
You deal with ethics. How you understand me?
right.
Like what Eagle Republic is saying.
Exactly.
Next paper should be what is ethical versus what is legal.
Right. I wonder if they just have a code of ethics or conduct of ethics
But that
anywhere up there put on somewhere.
finally, somebody understand what I'm saying. That is what is needed. What is
Yes,
needed?
sir.
That is exactly what is needed. That every process is guided by some sort of ethics. Like what guides the process? Because listen, you can have people, with um bad objectives, but because they are guided by a process, they cannot carry out their objectives.
Right, right.
So
Yeah,
so
man.
I I,
So
I I believe I believe
that's
that there are
my
I believe that there are a lot of dishonest people that work in financial institutions, but the processes prevent them from stealing.
right. 100% correct. So that's just my contribution. Um, yeah, man. Hope you have a good evening and
Yeah,
tuning
yeah,
in to
man.
your listeners. All right.
Yeah, man. All right. Bless up,
Bless up
Issa.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. Just because Claudia just came in, she went out on a date and she got in late, so we're gonna keep Keep it going for her sake. You understand me? Eh. This one says many YouTubers are conflicted. How so, KS? How are the YouTubers conflicted? Explain. There you go, sir. There you go. Consequences is a major deterrent. Like that must guide the process. It's just yesterday, right? I met with a particular organization and just sharing with the leadership that, all right, so let me give you a good example. This is a very good example. So there's a system where kids are given like they would be given like lunch, and then say a parent would pay. This is a good example. Listen to it, right? Because you can understand why policies, procedures are necessary and important to guide how things are done, right? So but what happened is, because there is no limit until it is excessive, when it goes to say $50,000, and someone goes to the parent and says, you owe us 50,000, the parent gets upset because they weren't calculating the bill because the child was being fed. All right. So should the parents have known? Obviously. But here's what you have to do. You have to put in there, listen, your son, your daughter cannot exceed $2,000. If $2,000 is passed, no more lunch will be given. When you have that thing as policy, it guides, you make the paper make the decision. So you open the paper and say, but this is what the policy document says. And this is the ethical practices that guides us. And that was not followed. And that is what would have helped, like Andre Blake. Andre Blake, it should be simple. Was due procedure followed? Because the person who select Blake cannot just reject Blake or exclude him based on what happened. What must happen is that, listen, our policy says when you act this particular way, it is brought before this particular commission, and until it is dealt with by the commission, you cannot. If you don't have that in policy, you can't make certain decisions. So when action is done, you just bring the paperwork and say, but this is what the policy says. And I think that is what is needed more in the GFF and needs to be enforced. And we must ensure that it is followed to the T. KS says they have relationships which do not allow them to see objective. For example, some who have players who are their friends and are reluctant to criticize them, but does for others. Oh. Okay, so they can't criticize players. Here's where I'm at still. It's when it comes on to, I honestly, I can't, some of the ways that we speak about players, I don't think we should. Because it's when you come on and say the player is no good, I think that is disrespectful. Imagine, because you would not take it. A lot of us who talk, if people see you doing your job and don't like how you're doing it and say you're no good at your job, you're a stupid idiot, and there's no way you should be in this company, you would take offense to it. I have a problem with that. I have a problem when we take our criticism to people's personal life. Talk about their education and them dunce and them can't read and all of those things. I have a problem with that. All right? So when the game is played, I can say Saka that played for Arsenal had a poor game. He gave away the ball. For me to say, who? Them man are not good. Them man are not fit on the EPL side. Them man they are idiot. Them man they are ball done. Listen, maybe you and I would never ever, even at our best, do the things that they have done. We must keep that in mind. So I think sometimes comments go overboard in criticizing person's personality more than their play. We have to learn to speak about the person on the field. I hear people saying that Trent Alexander, all kind of things, that he's a dunce. And I'm saying, how do you get to that? It's okay for you to say he's not good defensively. He cannot defend well. But sometimes I think we go way overboard in how we operate. I have a problem with that. We have no restraint in what we say. And you know what is funny? Some of the same people who have those criticisms, you catch them on phone, right? Or you catch them on any platform and you criticize them that way, you never hear the end of it. So don't give out what you can't take. But players must know that they are professionals. People are going to criticize their game. And if they put their personal life out there, they're going to be criticized. All right? Good example, because Robbie and his crew became friends with Obama and were reluctant to criticize him while killing players like Xhaka. That's a good example. Yeah, like no matter what Granit Xhaka did, they would criticize him and they would never criticize like Obama yet. I have a problem with that. Just like Balakar. Balakar, no matter how Shamar play, even when Shamar will come out and say the play good, Balakar will still find a way to say, man, a ball him drop. That's Balakar. But you see, if Ethan Pinnock ever miss kick a ball, you will not hear the end of it. Liverpool final win one, and Trent scored. For all the haters, how do you like them? How do you like them? Um, applies or apples? I think that should be okay. Factually speaking, most soccer and baseball players are academically illiterate. You have a scientific study to prove that? Gunners boss? Prove it by data and research. Prove it by research. So let me give you some scores in Europa League. Liverpool 2, Rangers 0. Inter Milan 1, Barcelona 0. Tottenham 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 0. Napoli 6, Ajax 1. Club Brugge 2, Atletico Madrid 0. Porto 2, Leverkusen 0. Marseille 4, Sporting 1. Bayern 5, Pilsen 0. Scores in Europe in the Champions League. All right. So that means that after 3 games, Napoli lead and 9 points. Liverpool are second and 6. In Group B, Club Brugge lead 9 and all the other teams are on 3. Bayern 3 from 3. Inter second. Barcelona are third. Sporting lead on 6. Tottenham and Eintracht Frankfurt on 4. Chelsea at the bottom of there. I think Chelsea plays tomorrow. All right. Yeah. Man seeks sympathy for Trent for defense in important moments, the most crucial times. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I think sometimes when people speak about Trent, I don't think they can do half of what he does. So sometimes we have to be more measured, I think, in our criticism. I don't know. I just think sometimes we go overboard. Yeah. Whoa. Do you believe this? Whoa. All right. I just saw a report that Blake Griffin paying 258,000 US a month in child support. Um, when there's a conflict of interest, it must be disclosed and assessed against the entity's conflict policies. It can either be cleared, disorged, or disapproved. There you go. All right. You one sec, people. All right. So Neo, good point. Good point. And that may be done, but I think a proper code of ethics and stuff can also change it. Congratulations to Elaine, blessing to her and the family. Trent is is challenged defensively. Hey, I hope he shows some defensive flaws on Sunday. That would certainly help me. I hope he has a very poor game defensively come Sunday. The one day I don't want him to defend well is Sunday. You understand me? Big up Trent. Make sure you come with your defensive frailties come Sunday. I would appreciate that, my friend. What? Um, what? There is a definite case for wrapping it up, guys. I don't know what that means, Claudia. Yeah, but I know Blake Griffin 258,000 month in child support. That is crazy stuff. All right. So is that enough, people? Um, good show. Gave some additional time because Claudia had come on late, and she's the one female that we were able to identify in the chat. So yeah, we definitely had to extend the time, and need to go and make some money so I can buy some juice because you don't know. The Emirates is like our second home. We're coming for all 3 points, Mannings. Okay. Oh. Well, Claudia, I don't know about that part of house, but so yeah, I don't know about that. And yeah. I don't know about that part. I'm not putting up that comment. They can read it in the comment section. I ain't putting that one up. I thought oh my lord. I ain't putting up that comment. All right. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, people. So check that out. They put it up that comment. But bless up. Listen, really thank you. Listen, if you have not yet done a super chat or a super sticker, go ahead and just drop one right now. So we can you know, yeah, you understand me? Um, yeah, just do that before we go. Hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed to I Am Sure Sports, make sure you do that as well. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the platform. It's always our joy and pleasure to spend times like these with you discussing the sport we love the most, football. You understand me? Sometimes we get heated, sometimes we get upset, we say all kinds of things, but at the end of the day, it's all for the good of the sport. Listen, we like having these conversations because society, I mean, everything turns into major conflict and someone loses their life. And so when we can come on these platforms and talk, and then tomorrow we return and we talk again, we may not always agree, but we discuss things in a peaceful way. And so that is always good. A man is man. This has been I Am Sure Sports. As usual, joy and pleasure to be with you. Yeah, right? Enjoy the rest of your evening. And as usual, when it gets to this point, we say we are over and we are OUT out of here.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Air this. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, you cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.